Beloved husband and father of three, Jim Brown was taken from this world too soon on April 2nd, 2020. Jim was born March 5th, 1972, to James and Jerry Brown. He graduated from South Plainfield High School, earned a bachelor's degree in English from Rutgers University, and a master's degree in educational administration from Keene University. Jim was an energetic and passionate husband and father who loved nothing more than spending time with his wife Sherry and three precious children, Jimmy, Kayla, and Jake. Family was his greatest gift in life. Touching the lives of many young students, Jim coached youth football and baseball in his hometown of Colonia. In 2016, Jim was named the Central Jersey Pop Warner Coach of the Year. Jim began his teaching career in the Dunellen School District, where he taught English at Lincoln Middle School, coached high school football, and was the dean of students. He then transitioned to an administrative role as vice principal at James Caldwell High School for 6 years before becoming the principal of Grover Cleveland Middle School in 2012. Jim was an outstanding leader and educator who enriched the lives of his students and staff. He was an inspiration and friend to many, who lived his life according to the middle school's motto, "Make a difference." Jim's zest for life will never be forgotten, and he will continue to be honored by his family, friends, and Grover Cleveland Middle School by always looking for ways to make a difference. Today, we honor the legacy of Jim Brown. Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2021 Grover Cleveland Middle School Make a Difference Day. My name is John Bertolo, and I am the principal of Grover Cleveland Middle School. In the past, this event was an all-day extravaganza held in person, but given the circumstances that have been going on for the past year, we are fortunate that this event can still continue to take place virtually. In the 2012 movie Marvel's The Avengers, SHIELD leader Nick Fury, played by Samuel L. Jackson, says this famous line: "There was an idea called the Avengers Initiative. The idea was to bring together a group of remarkable people to see if they could become something more, to see if they could work together when we needed them to fight the battles that we never could." It is a bit ironic to me because also in the year 2012, Jim Brown became the principal of Grover Cleveland Middle School. I imagine that when Jim came up with the idea for this day, he thought the same thing as Nick Fury. Jim knew the importance of making a difference. He lived it and breathed it every single day. He knew if he could assemble a collection of difference makers from our community, it would leave a big imprint on the students at Grover Cleveland Middle School. And he did just that. Jim brought in many speakers from all walks of life, everyday people like you, to provide students with models of determination, grit, and commitment to help those in need. But let's not forget the most important part of today, honoring the biggest difference maker of them all, Jim Brown. His unmatched dedication to community service inspired students, faculty, and parents to focus on compassion for our fellow citizens and to make a difference every day. Throughout this program today, you will hear stories and memories about Jim. It's no surprise how many people came forward to share their memories for this tribute. Jim truly was a difference maker, a real-life superhero, and this day is in celebration of him. Jim, thank you for your leadership, thank you for your friendship, and thank you for making a difference each and every day. Grover Cleveland Middle School isn't the same without you, but you left it in great shape, and I am truly honored to continue the things you started and will always find ways to make a difference. We officially kick off this program with our keynote speaker. I am honored to introduce former Rutgers University football star, Mr. Eric LeGrand. In October 2010, Eric sustained a spinal cord injury during a fourth quarter play at MetLife Stadium. While the initial prognosis was grim, Eric demonstrated his Titan strength by shattering all expectations for his recovery and rehabilitation. However, recovery was not enough. With close to 6 million Americans living with some form of paralysis, Eric harnessed the national spotlight he attracted from his injury to give back to the community and inspire those living with and impacted by paralysis to believe. Team LeGrand was launched in September 2013 as a fundraising arm for the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation to carry forward the legacy of the late Christopher Reeve. Since its inception in 2013, Team LeGrand has raised well over $1 million for the Reeve Foundation. Eric was recognized by Sports Illustrated with the Best Moment of 2011 and the Jimmy V Award for Perseverance at the ESPY Awards in 2012. Further, he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2017, receiving the Warrior Award. He also realized his NFL dream when his college coach and then Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach, Greg Schiano, signed him to a professional contract in 2012. In 2017, Eric visited Grover Cleveland Middle School.
Why is former Rutgers football star Eric LeGrand smiling? Because when he showed up Friday morning at Grover Cleveland Middle School in Caldwell, he saw about 60 faculty members and 15 student leaders wearing matching Believe t-shirts. The special issue t-shirts from Athletes Brand were on sale last month and raised $3,100 for Team LeGrand of the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation for Spinal Cord Injury Research and Awareness. In a gym so silent that you could hear a pin drop, LeGrand imparted life lessons on the power of getting an education and staying positive in the face of adversity.
They walked away with the message that Mr. LeGrand shared about being there for others, helping others, staying positive, overcoming any obstacle, and believing. That's a message that Eric shares, and I think that's the message that students walked away with. They were kind of going with the message that we have here at the middle school of make a difference for others, and we wanted to make a difference not only in purchasing the shirts and giving to the Reeve Foundation, but also make a difference for Eric when he came and spoke to our students.
Eric is an author, a sports analyst for various networks, a motivational speaker, but most importantly, Eric is a difference maker. Please welcome Mr. Eric LeGrand.
Grover Cleveland Middle School, what's going on? It's Eric LeGrand, and I hope you're doing well. I wanted to reach out to you guys. Obviously, wish I could be with you in person, but due to everything that's going on in the world, we have to do it like this. Virtual learning, virtual everything has been what's been going on for the past year, but it's another way that we've been able to adjust like we humans do and make the best of every opportunity. Today, I want to talk to you guys about making a difference. This is exactly what Mr. Brown was able to do with your entire community, and even in my life when I got to come up there a few years back and actually share my message with all of you. You guys are obviously a little bit younger, but I got to share it with your Grover Cleveland family, and I was very appreciative for that. But as I was saying, as I'm here today to talk about making a difference, there's so many ways that you can make a difference in your life, other people's lives, the community, and just in general. There's a few ways I try to make a difference in my life. I started with a foundation, one thing, because there's 5.6 million people in this world that are dealing with a spinal cord injury. I have a spinal cord injury. I am a former Rutgers football player who was paralyzed back in 2010 with a spinal cord injury. The doctors told me I would never do this and never do that. And I've been able to overcome many obstacles in my life and just continue to push forward and truly believing that one day I will walk again. That right there, that belief is making a difference in others' lives. People see how I go about my business and how I fight my battle each and every day. And they say, you know what? If Eric can do it, why can't I do it? What's my excuse? And that's what I'm all about. bettering other people, letting them know that they are important, that they can overcome the adversity that they're dealing with in their life, that they can be the absolute best that they can be on a daily basis. But back to my foundation, Team LeGrand of the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation. It was around 2012 when people were still approaching me after my injury, asking how can we help? How can we make a difference? So I partnered up with the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation and created Team LeGrand. And it is to find a cure for paralysis. Our motto is today's care, tomorrow's cure. That's what we're about. We want to be able to find a cure, but we got to help the people that are dealing with this spinal cord injury on a daily basis. And I'm proud to say the family that we've been able to build around Team LeGrand, we have raised over $2 million for spinal cord injury research since our inception back in, I want to say, September of 2013. I'm very proud of that. And I want to welcome you guys to my community as well. I'm here talking to you today, obviously through a camera lens, but I want you to know that I believe in you, that you can overcome the obstacles that you may face in your life, whether if that's getting better grades in the class, whether if that's on the sports field, or whether if that's with your home life. You can be better, and I challenge you to be better. Always realize in life that no matter what you're going through, there's always someone that has it worse than you. Remember that. Whatever that you're dealing with, know that someone always has it worse. So be appreciative for the things that you do have. Don't focus on the things that you don't have. And if it's something that you really want, then you work your butt off to get it. I know that I'm making a difference in those 5.6 million people in this world dealing with paralysis because I'm giving them hope. Knowing that someone's on the front lines fighting for them, giving them the hope that they can push on, that they'll walk again one day. That's what I'm all about. I truly believe that, and it inspires me. It makes me want to be better. It makes me want to do better for the community, for the people that have this similar injury like I have. Another way to make a difference in this world is helping somebody that may be going through a rough time. A lot of people in this world today are going through a rough time. How can you help them? Is it by just having a conversation? Is it by helping them maybe on a project or talking to them because they're dealing with a bad breakup, some family troubles, whatever it is? Try to be the person that actually helps somebody overcome something and not tries to pile on and put someone down more because they're different than you, or they don't have what you have, or they can't do what you can do. Help somebody. Be there for them. I promise you, it's a much more gratifying feeling when you help somebody get through a tough time than it is when you just make fun of them for a quick laugh and ha 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 for that time being. Help people. Be there for each other. Like I said earlier, challenge each other. Challenge yourself. Challenge each other. Go out there each and every day and say, you know what? This may not be easy. It may not be fun. But I'm going to learn how to beat this. I'm going to learn how to overcome this. I'm going to push through. I'm going to push myself to the limits. And watch where your life takes you. When you start pushing yourself to the limits and creating that mental toughness, because people ask me all the time, how are you so mentally strong? How do you deal with what you deal with on a daily basis? And that's honestly, I say, I've always been in situations where I was uncomfortable, whether it was physically from football practice and mentally being challenged in the classroom or in life in general. I put myself in uncomfortable situations, and I live by the motto that coach says, you have to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. You're going to have uncomfortable moments in your life, stuff that really tries you. But if you prepare yourself for it, you create habits around challenging yourself, you'll be able to overcome those mountains when they get in your way. And what do I mean by that? Do something that you don't like doing. If that's like getting up in the morning and making your bed every day, you may hate doing it, but do it for 5 days straight. And watch what happens. You start creating a habit. Because when you don't do it, then you kind of feel weird. You kind of feel guilty that you didn't do it because that was your responsibility. And continue to do things that you don't like to do, but it's going to better you and help you. And that's how you create mental toughness. Make a difference for yourself. Make a difference for others around you. Be kind. Be nice. Realize how blessed you really are for the things that you have in your life. Be appreciative. know that in one day that you may not have it all, or you may have it all. Everything can be taken away from you in one snap of the finger. You never know what can happen. So treat people the right way so that if you are ever in need, people want to help you. People want to be there for you. People want to make a difference in your life. And I'm going to leave you with this, the definition of success. It was embedded in our head at Rutgers, and I want to hope you guys remember it as well. And it's the peace of mind you get knowing you did everything you could to be the best you can be. I'll say it one more time. It's the peace of mind you get knowing you did everything you could to be the best you can be. If you do that every single day, you look yourself in that mirror at night and say, you know what? I gave it my all today. There was nothing left I could give. Put your head down on that pillow and you should be able to sleep at ease that night. And if you didn't, God willing, you wake up the next morning, look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? Today, I'm going to make it my best day. And you start adding those days up over and over and over and watch where your life takes you. So I just want to thank you again for the opportunity to talk with you guys. I hope you guys will go out there and make a difference in your life and others. And I'm hoping that Mr. Brown is always on your mind and in your memories because he definitely made a difference in your family. So thank you guys. Much love to you all. Stay blessed and stay safe.
Here at Grover Cleveland Middle School, the principal of Grover Cleveland Middle School for 7 years was Jim Brown. Before that, he was 7 years at the high school here in town, a beloved educator. On the sign here, it says, "Make a difference today." He actually got these signs put up. He also created Make a Difference Day here at the school, expanded their STEM program, brought in robotics, did a lot of grant writing, was able to get some special education projects for the kids. You can see we have a growing memorial here. There's a lot more over there as far as the flowers.
When I started at JCHS in the summer of 2011, it became quickly apparent that I had joined a team that pretty much could do anything. Dr. Barnes and Jim Brown took me, a young teacher, and taught me how to become an administrator. But it was a bit intimidating to join these two guys. I'm still not sure who was more competitive, funnier, smarter, more confident, but I do know I was lucky to learn from the best. I still remember the first few days of school that year, Jim informed me that he was going to be absent. You can imagine my thought process. You can't be out. It's only the first few days of school. What if there's a fight? What if there's something in the cafeteria? There's 800 students and only one of me. A few days later, Jim's youngest son, Jake, was born. There wasn't anything that Dr. Barnes, Jim Brown, and I couldn't handle. The best part was we worked hard, we laughed often, and I knew I could rely on this team to navigate the daily challenges of a high school each and every day. That confidence carried me and has truly made me the administrator I am today. Jim Brown truly made a difference in my life.
I'd like to echo Mrs. Abramovich's comments. We were all very fortunate to be a part of a team that consisted of Jessica, Jim Brown, Paul Mazzio, Mary Cunningham, the teachers at James Caldwell High School, and the students at James Caldwell High School and in the Caldwell, West Caldwell communities. I first met Jim when he showed up for his interview. He interrupted a meeting of about 10 people, just opened the door and said, "I'm here for my interview." His hands were full of grease and dirt. He had gotten a flat tire on the way. He interrupted a meeting. And as he walked down the hallway to the men's room to wash his hands, he probably thought, well, that's an auspicious start to a career that actually touched the lives of everyone at James Caldwell High School, indeed, everyone in the district. When Jim left the high school to become the principal at the middle school, We knew that it was something that he had to do for his professional advancement. And admittedly, we were sad that he left, even though he was staying in the same district. He then touched the lives of each middle school student and teacher and parent. And he did so with a sense of strictness and a sense of humor. He was always amazed when, as the vice principal in that role, he would say to a student, gee, what you did was completely unacceptable, and here's the consequence. And the student would stand up, shake his hand, and say, okay, thanks, Mr. Brown. That was the kind of relationship that Jim had with each of the students at the high school. He touched the lives of so many people. He is sorely missed. I will always consider him a dear friend, as will so many other people who are associated with him, either at the middle school or at the high school. We will miss him. We already miss him. Pay It Forward Day was his kind of brainchild, because that's what Jim Brown did every single day.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Breezehoff. When I was born, everyone thought I was a boy, but I deeply know myself to be a girl. I'm transgender. I'm 14 years old and I've been living as myself for 6 years now. When I was 10 years old, the federal government made a decision that made transgender and non-binary kids less safe in their schools. I was angry and scared. I spoke at a rally in Jersey City in front of 200 people to say that transgender kids deserve access to safe schools. I was holding a protest sign that said, "I'm the scary transgender person the media warned you about." I was a 10-year-old girl with pink pigtails. I wasn't scary at all, and that was the point. A picture of me with that sign went viral. Suddenly, I had a platform, and I knew I needed to use it. I speak in front of politicians and policymakers. I advocate for transgender and non-binary kids who are fighting for the right to be who they are in their homes, schools, and communities. I testified at the New Jersey State House in support of the LGBTQ+ inclusive curriculum bill that is now law. It means that our schools are required to include the contributions of LGBTQ+ people in our classes. I am especially passionate about representation. LGBTQ+ youth deserve to see themselves in the world around them, in their books, their television, their movies, and their government. All of it. If you can't see it, you can't be it. That's why I started a book drive for LGBTQ+ inclusive books, so that starting from a young age, all kids could have access to books about all kinds of people. I've worked really hard to make the world safer for kids like me. I'm a Marvel superhero. I was a finalist for Time and Nickelodeon's Kid of the Year. I'm a gender cool champion, working with Fortune 500 companies to make the workplace more inclusive. But most of all, I'm just a kid like you. I love hanging out with my friends. I play field hockey. I love acting and theater. I just happen to be transgender. And by being an out and proud transgender young person, I make the world a safer space for kids to be themselves, whoever that may be. You can make a difference too, by being yourself, doing the things you're passionate about, and celebrating all our uniqueness.
Hello, Grover Cleveland Middle School Chiefs. It's an honor to join you for Make a Difference Day this year and pay tribute to your former principal, Jim Brown, and the values that he instilled in your school that you'll carry forward with you in the days to come. Character and commitment to community really do make a difference in our lives and the lives of those around us. At Wounded Warrior Project, our mission is to honor and empower wounded warriors, and we do that by providing support for their needs, whether it be support for their invisible wounds like post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury, or supporting their family as they learn to transition from military life to the civilian world. We have lots of programs and services, and one of the things that I think is unique about Wounded Warrior Project is that we're able to provide those programs for not only the warrior, but their family too. Now, when I visited your school in the past, I learned that many of you actually have a warrior in your family, someone who served after 9/11 and who's perhaps had some challenges when they came home. And I hope that each one of you know, whether you have a warrior in your family or you know a warrior in your community, that Wounded Warrior Project is there for them. Now you can find us at woundedwarriorproject.org if you want to learn more about our programs and services. And I hope that you'll remember that our mission to honor and empower wounded warriors is one that you can take up in your community, whether it be thanking a warrior for their service or finding a resource to help someone in your neighborhood when they need it. You know, there are people around us every day that need support, a peer network of support. And that's one of the things that Wounded Warrior Project is focused on, making sure that when folks come back from serving our country, they have the opportunity to connect with other veterans and to still feel that support and camaraderie that they felt when they were in the service. You know, it really does help us all to get through the struggles of life when we have people around us to provide support and understanding. We really are better together. So as you embark on Make a Difference Week, I know that you'll be reflective and thinking about all that your school has gone through during these really tough and challenging times. And I know that you are inspired to keep doing more, to keep making a difference in your community. And the one thing that you're going to find is that the more you help others, the more it helps you too. Thanks for including Wounded Warrior Project and me in your very special day. And I look forward to seeing you again in person just as soon as we can.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Lace, and I'd like to talk to everyone today at the Grover Cleveland Middle School about why I joined the Coast Guard Auxiliary. You know, ever since I was a kid, I've had a love for aviation and flying in airplanes. And I've also really enjoyed being out in the water on boats. And so serving in the Coast Guard Auxiliary here at Air Station Caldwell has given me the ability to combine both of those pursuits in really one form of service. In the Coast Guard Auxiliary at Air Station Caldwell, what we do is fly missions up and down the coast of the Atlantic Ocean and up along the Hudson River in small planes like this one right here. This is a Cessna 172. We fly in these planes and other planes along the coast and up the river to help the Coast Guard maintain their awareness of what's going on in the water. And so by doing that, we help prevent accidents from happening, and we respond when accidents unfortunately do happen. So if you're looking for a great way to serve, when you turn 17, you can join the Coast Guard Auxiliary, and for any adults, we're always looking for great volunteers. So thanks so much for having us, and have a good day. Bye-bye.
I'm Scott Chamberlain, and I worked alongside Jim Brown for a number of years serving as Vice Principal of Grover Cleveland Middle School. It is befitting that I and others in our school community have this opportunity to pay tribute to Jim's legacy as part of a rebranded event that was originally conceived by Jim. Jim's office was an inviting space adorned with pictures and memorabilia of his passions and philosophical underpinnings. One photo of him holding a sizable catch from the ocean always prompted a conversation by anyone on their first visit. Another picture that resolutely stood out was of the famed football coach Vince Lombardi hanging behind his desk. Vince Lombardi was considered one of the greatest coaches in history, most notably for his approach to building character both on and off the field. Of his many quotes that are chronicled, one in particular I believe Jim embraced is, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." It is these words that I've seen manifest in Jim's leadership style. One of Jim's signature initiatives was the charter of our house project. Jim's vision to create an environment solely dedicated to building a student's character was, in my opinion, the lifeblood of our school, whether you were a student, staff member, or parent. The project was based on a student being adopted into one of the 8 established houses named after a noun that describes a noble character trait. It is with this in mind that I would like to share my insights of Jim's accomplishments that fall within each of the houses. Jim had the God-given ability of moving people to collectively embrace progressive initiatives at GCMS. Over the years, his steady flow of ideas have unfolded into established programs that include STEM, iSTEM, the House Project, Advisory and Enrichment Cycle, Service Leadership, Communication Broadcast, Research and Innovation, and cutting-edge protocols on safety and security. Jim's energy was boundless, especially when it came to the day-to-day operations of the building. Having inherited the oldest building in the district, it was a challenge Jim never relented or backed away from. Additionally, he managed to transform the physical plant into a more inviting environment that showcased emblems in promoting our mission statement. As with most of his ideas, Jim did the legwork in securing all the logistical measures, such as writing grants, needed to successfully launch these programs. He was the first in the building and the last to leave. Amazingly, he completed a full workout regimen at a local gym prior to coming to work every day. Jim's respect for everyone in the building was evident by his occupants wanting to be a continuing family member of GCMS. The faculty room was always rattling with vivacious chatter and laughter. The group Halloween photos of staff in themed costumes. The buzz in the hallways that students and staff occupied during passing time. He was a principled principal, reaching out his hand as a cue for a handshake along with a welcoming smile. Whenever I walked with Jim throughout the building, he would never pass up an opportunity to make small talk with anyone he crossed paths with. It's the small things every day that make the big difference. Jim truly honored those in the community and the world at large. That most likely was a product of his upbringing. In addition to inviting special citizens to visit our school and sharing their own approach to life, Jim would pick up the tab of military veterans in restaurants, serve as a coach for his community athletic leagues, and facilitate workout sessions at his gym. Jim truly made an impact on the administrative council when he, as the new kid on the block, picked up the tab for our annual lunch we customarily had prior to a new school year. When we asked why, he explained it was a tradition that was passed on by his father. Knowledge is gained when research is acquired, and Jim was a master at it. In all my years as an administrator, I never worked with a colleague that had the uncanny eagerness in harnessing such a wide range of resources in solving problems as well as meeting challenges tomorrow may bring. He was a student of knowledge and very unselfish in sharing with his coworkers. I am forever grateful for his mentoring throughout my years. Integrity can be measured by what one can endure in remaining committed to their moral code. We were reminded on a daily basis of what Jim stood for through his actions and deeds. Jim would constantly exhibit his inexhaustible energy in harnessing the power of positive thinking. He ran his school under the premise that all people are deserving of dignity. The effect was both inspirational and infectious. Throughout the years, the number of students I could sense trying to emulate him are too great to count. He was the best role model a student could wish for. One of Jim's initiatives was to adopt a collaborative approach in guiding our students' journey as they developed through their middle school years. And through the years, my admiration for Jim grew because he trusted us fully to make the right choices and the first to take responsibility whenever one of our decisions fell unfavorably in the public's eyes. He was an exceptional leader because he truly understood the hardships and successes that came with the job. He was one of the most courageous men that I knew. When Jim left this world, it undoubtedly left a deep scar in the souls of all who loved him. And when I imagine that deep scar inflicted on our souls as scars of equal depth on the skin, it brings into focus the indelible image of the Vietnam War Memorial in Washington, D.C. A memorial that symbolizes a scar cut in the earth, chiseled with the names honoring the many that showed courage to sacrifice themselves in protecting our way of life. I imagine this because I placed Jim in the same company. He unconditionally showed his unwavering courage by protecting us from all forces that threatened our development into being the best of what we can do with what we have. And as time passes, the scar will eventually heal. And with the healing, the pain will subside, but the scar's faint remnant will be an everlasting reminder of what was. We will remember.
Hello, Grover Cleveland Middle School. I am so thrilled to be a small part of this extraordinary day, the Jim Brown Make a Difference Day. God, you are doing such a wonderful job of honoring the memory of a great educational leader in our state. And I love how you are elevating his ideals, his values, in a way that will affect all of the community. We are a nation. It's a nation of laws, yes, but the moral core of who we are is lived every day by our citizens. And for you all to dedicate yourself to the highest of not American values simply, but of human values, of showing respect to others, of extending kindness, of being of service. This is the foundation of a great, great community and the hope, really, of our nation. Thank you for deciding to lead with love. Thank you for understanding that we honor others for their lives by committing ourselves to living by the best of their values. Thank you for being a community that in a difficult time is not falling apart, but is pulling together. You all are the hope of our state and the hope of our nation. And I know we've got 100 United States senators, but I know that I today am the proudest there is because of what you all are doing and how you all are choosing to live and honor others. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill. It's an honor to be with you today as we honor the memory of Principal Jim Brown. Jim Brown was the kind of principal that every student wishes to have and every parent wants their kid to be educated by. He was just such a force and cared so much and so deeply about the Caldwell community. I think the best way to honor him is to really live his values of serving your community and giving back. And I know so many of you have done that throughout the pandemic. He was such a great role model and he'll be missed, but I think it's really wonderful of everyone today to come together to commemorate him and the work he did. Thanks so much. Take care.
Hi, this is West Caldwell Mayor Joe Tempesta, and thank you for having me today for the Grover Cleveland Middle School Annual Day of Service. And let me just say thank you to Principal Bertolo for inviting me, and I was thrilled to hear that we're doing it in honor of the former principal, our good friend James Brown. He was a great guy. I had the opportunity to meet him a number of times over the years, and I met him unfortunately about 2 or 3 weeks before he passed away. And I would tell you he was a great man, and I'm thrilled that we're going to continue his legacy by continuing this annual day of service each day. So boys and girls and all the students and teachers for Grover Cleveland Middle School, let me just say this to you as the mayor of West Caldwell now starting my 23rd year. I got involved, ironically, because of the same reasons why we had this day. Is I just wanted to make a little bit of a difference and I ran for the basic premise to try and help the community in any way that I can and a greater number of people. And that's why I ran for mayor. One of the things that a lot of you may not realize today as young students, but you will as you grow older, we are very blessed to live in two great communities, whether it be Caldwell or West Caldwell, where all of you come from. They are great communities to grow up in. Your families came here because it's a good place to raise a family and to work, and many opportunities, great schools, and just so many other opportunities through recreation and other programs. And it's a very safe place to do it. So that's one of the reasons why I ran, is to keep our community that way. The other thing is to try and help the greatest number of people that I could being mayor, especially as we go through this pandemic right now. Each Friday, I send a call out that goes out over the reverse 911 phone call, as well as through a number of social media outlets to update the community on what's happening with the pandemic, as well as if there's any community events going on. We've gotten a lot of great feedback in that we're continuing, according to the state guidelines, to have recreation opportunities for some of you. And I hope some of you are taking advantage of that, as well as we were able to open the pools this summer. And again, following the social distancing and other guidelines. And those are the things that we're trying to do to make a difference. So I hope, boys and girls, that any of you can be the next mayor or council person in your community by just following that simple premise. Try and make the community a little bit better each day by trying to help your friend, your neighbor, a child, a senior citizen, whatever it takes. Okay? Keep the faith. I'm very proud of all of you. You're all doing a great job, and together we'll get through this pandemic. Thank you.
My name is Julianne Grosso, and I'm a member of the Caldwell-West Caldwell Board of Education. This is the third year of my first term serving on the Board of Education, and it has been an honor and a privilege to serve the students, staff, and families of the Caldwell-West Caldwell communities. To be a member of the Board of Education, you have to live in the town you serve and then be elected by the members of the community. It's a volunteer position, so unlike a member of the town council, a Board of Education member is not given a stipend to serve. The Board of Education election in our community takes place during the general election in November. If elected, the board member serves a 3-year term, and then will have to campaign and run again in order to keep their seat. I'm actually up for re-election again this November. I decided to run for the Board of Education because my mom was a single mom and an elementary school teacher for over 30 years. She worked so hard to raise me and always taught me the value of education by encouraging me to work hard and never give up no matter what obstacles came my way. She taught me that if you care about something, it is worth fighting for. Now that I'm a mom myself, I impart the value of education to my own children, and for those of you who don't know, I have 5 of them. I first got involved in the school district when my oldest daughter was in kindergarten. I served as class mom and then HSA president at Washington, Grover Cleveland Middle School, and James Caldwell High School. And then one day it occurred to me, how can I make a bigger difference and help not just my children, but all children of our community? How can I make our community a better place to learn and grow and live? So I decided to run for the Board of Education. And again, it has been a true honor and a privilege being part of this board, but I have to say that being on the board, I can't make a difference alone. The board is only as strong as each of its members. Not one person on the board can make a difference. We all have to work together to do it. When working on the board, I use my voice to invoke change. I share my personal ideas and beliefs, as well as advocating for the wants and wishes of the community at large. By using my voice on the board, I work with my fellow board members to create opportunities for all of you because I care. I care that all students, not just my own children, receive the best education possible and are prepared to achieve their goals and dreams as they venture into the great big wide world. In my tenure on the board, I am proud to say that the Board of Education has been a change-making force in our district. We have made many improvements and security updates to our buildings. We have helped to shape and approve our new LGBTQ and disabilities curriculum. We created the first ever girls field hockey team at James Caldwell High School, and they had a fantastic season. And we hired a new superintendent, which is probably the most important job of a Board of Education. Personally, though, this year, there has been one thing that I personally was responsible for and that I am most proud. On behalf of the James Caldwell Scholarship Fund, I created the James Brown Scholarship to honor the memory of Mr. Brown, whom we celebrate on this day. Mr. Brown was a great man and a champion for his students and staff at Grover Cleveland Middle School. The scholarship created to honor his memory and his legacy is for not only this generation of students who knew and loved him, but for generations to come who will never have that opportunity. The scholarship was awarded for the first time last year to Elizabeth Payne, a graduating senior who, like Mr. Brown, has truly made a difference in our community. Just think, maybe in a few years when you're a graduating senior, you'll receive that scholarship. So not just today, but every day, think about how you can make a difference in the world. I'll leave you with this quote. To make a difference in someone's life, you don't have to be brilliant or rich or beautiful or perfect. You just have to care. So find something that you care about and make a difference, because you can.
Hello, my name is John Kelly, and I'm the mayor of Caldwell. I would like to thank John Bertolo for the opportunity to contribute this video, and to also thank him for his incredible patience. I know he was about to give up on me. I volunteered my name for mayor because I believed that I could help make change happen for Caldwell. The two other people I ran with, Christine Schmidt and Frank Rogers, were wanting to do the same. All three of us won the election in 2018 and began our terms on January 1, 2019. I have a 4-year term, and the council members have 3-year terms. Although the position is part-time, it sometimes feels like a full-time job. We had the good fortune to have met and hired a borough administrator by the name of Tom Banker at the beginning of our administration. Having worked in the city of Newark and for Essex County Improvement Authority, along with administrative roles and consulting assignments throughout New Jersey, Tom brings the knowledge of how to run a municipal government. This has been extremely important to the Borough Council because as elected officials, none of us have that level of experience within government, which is critical to our success. All of the council are contributing their time and talent, but having an administrator with this level of expertise is important when charting a course for change. The mayor and council meet twice a month and conduct meetings for the purpose of managing the affairs of Caldwell, which include creating a budget, assessment and collection of property taxes, billing for water consumption and sewer use, paving of roads, operating a community center, a public library, and a wastewater treatment plant, and overseeing the public works services for the residents of Caldwell. The mayor and council are also responsible for overseeing the police department and also provide budgeting for the volunteer fire department. Some current initiatives for our administration are as follows. Contain and possibly reduce the largest part of our budget, which is the labor cost of running a police department. Through attrition, we have seen a reduction of headcount and costs for the police. 2, to manage the capital improvements required of our wastewater treatment plant. 3, to relocate our borough hall and police station. To change the operations of the community center to achieve profitability and reopen after COVID. The success of managing the affairs of Caldwell is dependent upon having a cooperative group of employees and managers who are encouraged to think and act together as a team. The council and administrator allow individuals to perform in their jobs without feeling micromanaged. This is a style of management which I believe in and know will bring the most happiness and satisfaction of everyone working for the residents of Caldwell. The experience of being mayor and representing the borough of Caldwell is one I take seriously and feel very proud of. I would encourage every young person to consider service of some type which allows you to get to know and work for the fellow members of your community.
On behalf of Captain Dennis Capriglione and all of the officers at the West Caldwell Police Department, we would like to extend our deepest condolences to the Brown family and all those at the Caldwell West Caldwell Board of Education. Jim Brown was a friend of mine, and in his honor, I'd like to sing Amazing Grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come, till grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. The Lord has promised good to me. His word my hope secures. He will my shield and portion be, as long as life endures. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Our hearts and prayers go out to all of you affected by this tragic loss.
Hello, everyone. My name is Detective Matt D'Angelo, and I've worked with the Caldwell Police Department for the last 13 years. As the department's juvenile detective and a lead instructor, I am honored to be speaking with you for the Jim Brown Make a Difference Day. Here at the Caldwell Police Department, we are here to serve our residents, whether it's for medical emergencies, suspicious persons, motor vehicle accidents, or any other type of emergencies we're a call for. But on a more important note, we love being involved in our community with our residents. Through community policing efforts, we have run successful events such as Cones with a Cop at Gelati's, Caldwell National Night Out, and my personal favorite, Cookies with Santa. Our department also has 4 officers that teach our elementary 5th graders in the LEAD program, which was formerly our DARE program. Through the LEAD program, our officers strive to make a long-lasting impression on the students in Caldwell, whether it's talking about drugs and alcohol or making the right decisions and choices in their everyday lives. We enjoy seeing the children grow and remember us as they move through the middle school and on to the high school. From a very young age, I grew up in a police family watching my uncle serve in the Jersey City Police Department and my brother-in-law in the Florham Park Police Department. When I was young, I loved sitting in my uncle's police car and hearing all their stories about policing. Once I was in high school and college, I decided that I wanted to fulfill my lifelong dream of becoming a police officer. To me, this was more than a dream. It was the legacy to carry in my family. In the years that I've been a police officer, the most fulfilling moments have been helping people at the most dire time of need. As a detective, I conduct investigations and love when I can solve crimes. As the juvenile detective, I also teach the children in the LEAD program. It is my honor to work with the students that live in Caldwell and make a positive impact on their everyday lives. Principal Brown was a true leader in Caldwell, not only as principal in the middle school, but as a role model to many of his peers and students. I loved working with Jim, but really enjoyed our conversations about sports and our families. I wanted to thank Principal Bertolo and the Caldwell Police Chief James Buongiorno for giving me the opportunity to talk to you about how the police department makes a difference in Caldwell. Jim Brown might be gone, but he will never be forgotten. Thank you, everyone, and stay safe.
Hello, Grover Cleveland Middle School students. My name is John Medina, and I am the Assistant Fire Chief and Fire Official with the West Caldwell Fire Department. The West Caldwell Fire Department has been in existence since 1912 and has been a volunteer department throughout its history. I have been a member since 1984 and have proudly served since then. My inspiration for becoming a firefighter was actually a TV show, which maybe you've seen reruns of on cable. The show is called Emergency, and if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's a good show. But the way that the fire department makes a difference in our community is that through our volunteers, we provide a very valuable service to the community in terms of fighting and preventing fire. And then we do that at no cost as far as salary goes to the taxpayers, which is a big deal because taxes in our area are already very high. Just ask your parents. And if we had to have a career department, they would be quite a bit higher to cover those salaries. So we enjoy serving the community, and it makes us feel good because we're making a difference. All our members come from different walks of lives. I mean, we have attorneys, we have mechanics, and everything in between. Public works employees, you name it. And they all volunteer whatever time they can to train and to keep our community safe. So the way that we provide that service is it's a three-pronged approach. The first way is by keeping the fire from happening, and we do that through our fire prevention program. We have a fire prevention bureau where we have inspectors that go out and perform inspections of our buildings to assure that they are operating within the requirements of the fire code. The other way that we prevent fire is through public education. We provide public education programs from pre-K all the way up to senior citizens to educate our community about the danger of fire, how to keep the fire from happening, and how to protect themselves in the event of a fire. And then, of course, if the prevention fails and we have a fire, the department provides the suppression and rescue services to save the lives and property of our residents. We currently have about 52 volunteers. You can join the department as a junior member at 16, or you can join as a regular member at 18. Once you join the department, you must go for training, and we provide that training for you. Some of it is in-house, and some of it is at a fire academy. We provide all of your equipment and training at no cost to you. All we ask is that you provide to us whatever time that you can provide. So that, in a nutshell, is what we do. Mr. Bertolo asked me to keep this presentation under 4 minutes. I could talk to you all day long about the fire department, but I'm going to cut it short here. If you have any interest in joining the department or want to know more about the department, please reach out to me. Mr. Bertolo has all of my contact information. I'd be happy to speak to you more. And that's pretty much all I have to say. So have a great day, and most importantly, make a difference. Take care.
Hi, I'm Janice Nichols. I'm a member of the West Essex First Aid Squad. We say WEFIS for short. I became a member in 1993, and I started as a dispatcher. But soon after, I became a riding member because it was very frustrating trying to get ambulances out to cover the calls. We cover 5 towns: Caldwell, West Caldwell, North Caldwell, Essex Fells, and Fairfield. And we do about 2,700 calls a year. So the demand is high. So here I am almost 28 years later. I've been captain, I've been lieutenant, crew chief, I've been on the board of trustees, but I have to say I love it. This is the inside of our work area. This is where we transport the patients and we do the wonderful things we do. It seems to be a legacy here. We have a lot of families that have had generations. Oh, and that's a call going out now. So, gonna vacate this ambulance so they can go. But we have a lot of legacies. My oldest son, he's been riding for the last 16 years, and he's loving it. My middle son, Joe, who's a senior in high school, I don't think he's gonna do it. But it's nice to be able to help, as cliche as it sounds, your fellow citizens, your residents, your family, your neighbors. It's just, there's a closeness here. This becomes your second family. WEFIS is a very tight-knit group. We do our own in-house training. We pride ourselves on being top-notch, and we have been rated the #1 squad in New Jersey. So if you're interested, you have to be 16, but we'd love to have you. We have a website, westessexfas.org. That's WEFIS. That's our official website, westessexfas.org. If you're interested, check it out. We'd love to see you, meet you, and train you. So take care. Hope to hear from you soon, and be safe out there.
Hi, my name is Annette Rodriguez, and unlike some of my colleagues at the middle school, I was only blessed enough to work with Jim Brown as his secretary for a year and a half. My fondest memories of Jim are the stories he told me while growing up in an Italian family. As I am 100% Italian, I had similar stories, and I could totally relate. The one thing that we had in common was our passion for cooking. We shared stories of how our moms spent hours in the kitchen while growing up. Because everyone knows the way to your heart is through your stomach. I loved the family man that Jim was. I loved the professional principal he was. But most of all, I loved the impression that he left on all of our hearts. And for that, we shall carry on and make a difference.
Hi, my name is Gary McGeehan. I'm the Vice Principal of Grover Cleveland Middle School. I was both colleagues and personal friends with Jim. Some of my fondest memories of him is knowing his love and devotion for both the Caldwell West Caldwell Public Schools and, more specifically, Grover Cleveland Middle School. His mantra of make a difference every day is not just something he said, but something he lived by. He felt if you can make a difference in somebody's life, don't just talk about it, do it. He made a difference in his students' lives, his staff's lives, and his friends' lives. He made sure that everybody that entered into Grover Cleveland Middle School felt like family, whether it be staff, student, family members, whatever it may be, everyone felt like family. He knew the importance of bringing a community together. He will truly be missed.
Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Carlson from the main office. I began working with Jim in 2015. I'll never forget the day when the call came into GCMS. I walked into Jim's office dumbfounded and said, don't laugh, but I believe Devon Still is actually on the phone for you. Jim just looked at me with the biggest smile and said, I'll take the call, please put it through. I thought to myself, Now, why exactly would the former NFL player be looking for Jim? A few short minutes later, he came out of his office and said, "Wow, I'm impressed you knew who that was, Karen." I explained I knew his name because my sister-in-law was a pediatric oncology nurse at Children's Hospital in D.C. and followed him and his daughter Leah's story. She even had the great honor of attending a gala on their behalf. Jim proceeded with, "Well, I guess it's only fair now for me to share my little secret." Excited, I waited for his news. He told me he had just finalized the date for Mr. Still to come to GCMS to tell his story and inspire our students. Jim wanted the students to hear firsthand how unforeseen circumstances and struggles could be the driving force behind positive change. Mr. Still delivered an unforgettable speech, took countless pictures and selfies, and definitely made an impression on everyone at GCMS. His quote, "An individual can change the course of their life at any given moment," still resonates with me today. Jim was so happy knowing how the visit impacted GCMS, but I don't believe he thought for 1 minute about how his invitation may have impacted Mr. Still. Several months later, a book and letter arrived at school for Jim. Mr. Still wrote in great detail about his memorable visit to our school and how he befriended Jim. He admired Jim's constant goal to help others and make a difference. The two of them shared this common mission. As quoted on Mr. Still's social media page, the last message I have from him last month was him offering to help at our gala to support those families battling cancer. That was Jim, always finding ways to serve others. This tribute and memory is a reminder of how Jim lived each day, hoping to make a difference. He was always trying to pay it forward, whenever and wherever he could.
everyone, we are the house leaders.
You may know us from some events we've had this school year and from your house Google Classrooms.
At GCMS, our jobs are to lead each individual house during certain events and activities to celebrate our school pride and what each house itself represents.
By doing this, it allows us to make our school community a better place in many different ways.
To keep the community connected, we also host fun activities for the whole school.
Some of those include the Winter Art Contest and the Valentine's Day Love Poem submissions.
It is our main goal to try and make the new sixth graders and everyone else feel comfortable and at home here at GCMS.
It's important for us that you have fun too.
We also focus on things that will help reach other communities outside of GCMS,
such as food drives like the Super Bowl that we hold in order to donate to the food pantries.
If you didn't know, 2 house leaders attend the Board of Ed meeting each month to represent GCMS students.
We often share our thoughts on things like breakout rooms, schedule changes, and anything else that we feel is important for our school.
This past school year has been unprecedented.
But as house leaders, we have tried to foster the same social and emotional community as has been done in previous years.
As we work our way toward the end of the school year, we have one goal that we always keep in mind during every activity and event we hold, which is to make a difference in our community and in the world.
We hope to bring some excitement to the students this year and build school spirit and pride while still staying safe.
Overall, throughout our endeavors this year, we will always try our hardest to continue to make each house experience unique and exciting, while continuing to make an impact in our community. And we inspire you all to do the same. Bye, everyone.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, she shaking fast. Yeah, she dropping slow. Huh? What?
Dropping slow. Hello, students of Grover Cleveland Middle School in Caldwell. My name is John Bertolo. I'm the CEO of the Hawthorne Boys and Girls Club. I'm the father of your principal, Mr. Bertolo. I'm very proud of what he's done in your school, and I'm very proud and honored to be a part of Jim Brown Make a Difference Day. Here at the Boys and Girls Club of Hawthorne, we serve about 4,000 kids a year from our preschool at 6 weeks old all the way up through high school. We run many programs, social, educational programs, athletic programs, and fun programs to have kids have fun, basically, and learn how to be good citizens and grow and be able to play and socialize amongst each others. One of the programs I wanted to talk about today, Making a Difference, because we have so many programs that we make a difference in the lives of children, but I'm limited a little bit to time today, so I want to talk about our middle school program that we run. It's called Torch Club. Torch Club is a character and leadership club. Your principal, Mr. Bertolo, was a member of Torch Club, and he was also a member of Keystone Club. Keystone is high school age students, and it's the same character and leadership club. Our Torch Club meets regularly, and they work on community projects, they work on career projects, and they basically work on giving back not only in the community but to our club. Year after year, they volunteer their time, and we're very happy to say that our Torch Club and Keystone Clubs over the last few years before the pandemic have volunteered over 5,000 hours of their time back to our club and back to our community. Some of the causes they've raised money for and come back to and work for are local animal shelters, our local food banks. They've done walks for autism, for cancer awareness. They've helped in the club itself. They read to our preschool kids. They mentor some of the younger children. They do an awful lot of different things, and basically they make a difference every day that they're a part of the Boys and Girls Club and the work that they do. So I know you're only middle school kids, and I'm sure you're wondering if you can make a difference. And I just want to tell you that from my experience here at the Boys and Girls Club of Hawthorne, our middle school kids are making a difference every day that they're a part of Torch Club, and they work very hard to make a difference, and that will carry on into their Keystone years
when they get into high school. So again, thank you very much for allowing me to be a part of this special day. It's certainly an honor, and I want to wish you all well, and make sure you go out there and make a difference. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Malia Hillman, and I am the GCMS Student Council Secretary for this current school year. Most of the work that I do is behind the scenes, whether it's making a flyer or editing a video that helps promote a student council event. Being on the e-board, we at Student Council try to come up with ideas that will help make a difference by bringing our community together, which is exactly what Mr. Brown advocated for and is definitely needed during these unprecedented circumstances. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nathan Krupp, and I am the treasurer and one of the leaders of Student Council. I help make a difference for my school by help promoting school spirit, planning events in the school for everyone, and helping out my community.
Hi, I'm Sienna, and I'm the Student Council Vice President. My job in making a difference is helping Allie and all the other Student Council members organize events so that the student body of GCMS can come together throughout these tough times. So far, we've set up things like donations and just general ideas for the students in our school to come together and feel connected to each other this school year.
Hi, my name is Adam Rankin. I'm your Student Council President. As your Student Council President, my job in making a difference is to help create opportunities for students to come together as a community. I facilitate a variety of events to help the students have fun, come together, and socialize. Because we are not together in school this year, it is especially important for us to all feel connected to each other and to GCMS.
Hi, I am Adam Gayer, the principal of Lincoln School, and I had the honor and the pleasure of working alongside Mr. Brown for 9 years. He was also a principal to my 2 daughters, and he was a wonderful friend to myself and my colleagues. When I think about Mr. Brown and some of the memories that I have, no one memory stands out in particular, but what does stand out to me is that I want everyone to remember Mr. Brown was completely dedicated to everybody in this community. He continuously performed selfless acts of kindness and was not one to brag about it. He came here, he worked hard, and he cared about all of us, and he had your best interest in mind with all of his decisions. And lastly, what I want to recognize and I want everyone to know is that with his friendship with his principal colleagues and myself, he had an amazing sense of humor. He always had a way of making us laugh when we needed to laugh, and we're really going to miss him. And we'll remember everything he stood for forever.
Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Scott Keena, and I was the Wilson School principal until I retired this past June. Among some of the administrators, Jim was affectionately known as Downtown Jimmy Brown, or more often, JB. I worked with Jim for 14 years. I love Jim. He was one of the most amazing people I've ever known. Jim was like Superman to me. He was the guy you'd go to because it always seemed like no matter what the question, Jim would have the answer. Of all of his wonderful qualities, and there were many, the one that stood out most to me was his sense of humor. No matter the topic, Jim never failed to make me laugh. Along those lines, Jim had this incredible ability to tie in a movie quote with whatever conversation we were having. You really can't talk for long about Jim without mentioning his dedication to being physically fit. I think he woke up most days at 4 a.m. and put himself through grueling CrossFit workouts. He was just as dedicated with his diet. If we ever had meetings at our schools on the same night, we'd go to dinner together. I'd usually treat myself to pizza or chicken parm and soda. Of course, Jim made me feel guilty because then he would then order his grilled chicken salad and lemon water. The longer we worked together, the closer we became. The memory I'll cherish the most is this. Every single time we called one another, his greeting to me was always the same. "What's up, brother? I miss you, JB. You'll always be Superman to me."
Hi, I am Katie Pepper. I am a senior this year and I am the co-president of Key Club.
Hi, my name is Veronica Wertz. I am a senior and I am co-president of the Key Club.
Hi, I'm Amanda DiMaria. I'm in 11th grade and I'm co-vice president of Key Club.
Hi, I'm Kate. I'm a junior and I'm one of two vice presidents of the JCHS Key Club. My favorite memory from Key Club is participating in the dance that we held at Cranesville. It was a super rewarding experience and I really enjoyed interacting with all the residents there. For incoming freshmen, I think that Key Club is a great opportunity to meet new people as well as a way to gain service hours.
Hi, I am Enzo Way. I am in 11th grade and I am your Key Club treasurer.
Hi, my name is Sophia. I'm a sophomore and I'm your treasurer. My favorite Key Club memory is the Kiwanis Street Fair. It is a great opportunity to hang out with friends, earn hours, and give back to the community.
Hi, my name is Abby. I'm a junior and I'm the co-secretary of Key Club.
Hi, my name is Charlotte Stevie. I'm a junior and I'm co-secretary of the JCHS Key Club.
Hi, this is Mrs. Press and I'm the advisor for the James Caldwell High School Key Club.
Key Club is a global network of high school clubs dedicated to the principles of service, leadership, and action.
Especially during these times, it is so important that we give back as much as we can.
Some of our favorite Key Club community service activities include
collections for the Susan G. Komen Foundation at the Caldwell Street Fair, the Susan G. Komen Walk for Breast Cancer Research in Parsippany, and our own socially distanced version at JCHS in 2020. Fall rally at Six Flags, where hundreds of New Jersey Key Clubbers meet to discuss service, collect funds for New Jersey Hunger, and get scared at Fright Fest. The Walk for Alzheimer's Research. Food collections for local pantries, including Thanksgiving bags in November. Our annual costume contest and collection for Trick or Treat for UNICEF each October. Habitat for Humanity, where we built a house for a New Jersey family in need in the JCHS parking lot. Technology support and intergenerational dances at Cranes Mill. These are just a few ways that we in the JCHS Key Club try to make a difference each day.
My name is Joanne Garcia. I am the current president of the Kiwanis Club of Caldwell, West Essex. So I am going to give you a brief description of what Kiwanis is. So Kiwanis is a global organization of volunteers dedicated to changing the world, one child and one community at a time. Our members help shelter the homeless, we feed the hungry, we mentor the disadvantaged, and we care for the sick. We develop youth as leaders, we build playgrounds, we raise funds for pediatric research, we give out scholarships, we raise money for the community and invest that money right back into the community, mostly for children. As a service club, our mission is to improve the quality of life for kids. When you help one child, you help the world. How we make a difference in our community. Kiwanis changes the world one child at a time through leadership and inspiration. By empowering today's children to become great leaders so they can change the world. The function of leadership is to produce more leaders, not more followers. Help us make a better life for all the generations yet to come. Volunteer today. It enhances social networks, improves mental health, and contributes to the high levels of happiness, self-esteem, self-worth, and life's satisfactions. Are you ready? Are you the one? Sure you are. You can do it. Join us. Make a difference. Again, my name is Joanne Garcia. I am the president of the Kiwanis Caldwell, West Essex. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to share. great things about this club. I joined 6 years ago, and I'm staying here. I love this club. Please reach out to us. Again, we are the Caldwell Kiwanis Club. And yeah, stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.
Hello, my name is Colin Keenan. I am here today to talk about Boy Scout Troop 846, also known as Troop 6. Our Boy Scout troop is dedicated to helping out wherever we can in the community. We do dozens of service projects per year and work constantly to help our community. Most recently, we've been doing peanut butter and jelly sandwiches drive at St. John's Soup Kitchen in New York. We've been doing this for 43 weeks and have made 29,117 sandwiches. One of our older scouts, Matthew Courtwright, built an outdoor classroom in front of Lincoln School. Another one of our scouts, Aiden Lashak, painted a map of USA on the blacktop at Lincoln School as well. Ethan Schlegel put a fire pit at the back of the Roseland VFW. Chris Green built platforms for hikers in bogged-down area of Rikers Hill Fossil Site in Roseland. Alexander Sloan built the new sign for the public library gardens. All of these projects improve the community in so many truly impactful ways to make a difference in the community by helping the many institutions around the community thrive and grow. We also did a Toys for Tots event at the Turtlebacks Zoo, where we collected lots of toys, foods, and clothing for young kids in need. In addition, we cleaned up Grover Cleveland Park and collected trash. We also distributed ice cream at Grover Cleveland birthplace every 4th of July. So, to sum it all up, Troop 6 makes a huge difference in the community and is a vital part of local society.
Hi, my name is Paul Larson. I'm one of the music teachers at Grover Cleveland Middle School. And what I'd like to say, what I most remember about James was his dedication to all of us teachers and kids at the school, and how he always made time to come to our night concerts and be a supportive, amazing person.
For those of you that don't know me, I'm Dina Larson. I'm the choral director at the middle school, and I found James to always have an open door, always being willing to lend an ear. He always had sound advice, and as Paul said, he was always there at the concerts, and we very much appreciated his support for our program and for ourselves as teachers. He really thought about the kids and really tried to do what was best for them, and as always, he was great about making a difference, and he'll sorely be missed.
Hi, I'm Jake Main, and I'm a senior at JCHS. My favorite Mr. Brown moment, hands down, was during the 8th grade winter show for the finale. I remember a bunch of the staff members came out and all danced to this one song, Shake, 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 Senora. I remember Mr. Brown came out, was the center of attention, he had the maracas doing the cha-cha. It was the funniest thing, and everybody was going crazy. I remember I was cheering him on, I was out of my seat, let's go! It was the funniest thing. I just remember Mr. Brown always put a smile on my face, making my middle school experience a lot better. Such a good guy. Mr. Brown, we miss you, man.
This is a little bit of a tribute to our late and beloved principal, James Brown. The faculty and some students might remember Mr. Brown dancing along in a very funny video to this tune at a Grover Cleveland Middle School winter break send-off. So here's to you, Mr. Brown.
Hi there. My name is Terry, and I am the Essex County Director for Girls on the Run, New Jersey East. Girls on the Run is a nationally known program. From coast to coast, we engage and develop future female leaders. We inspire girls to be joyful, healthy, and confident using an experience-based curriculum which creatively integrates running. We offer 2 programs for girls in grades 3rd through 8th, Girls on the Run and Heart and Soul. Both programs are led by trained volunteer coaches who receive ongoing support throughout the season. Coaches guide girls through a curriculum that teaches life skills and promotes holistic, healthy outcomes. Girls on the Run is our program available for girls in grades 3rd through 5th. At Girls on the Run, girls learn strategies like how to manage emotions, help others, make intentional decisions, and resolve conflict. Our Heart and Soul program is available for girls in grades 6th through 8th. At Heart and Soul, girls learn about themselves, explore new ideas, cultivate empathy, and develop life skills that will help them through adolescence and beyond. The Heart and Soul curriculum addresses the whole girl, her body, brain, heart, spirit, and social connections. Grades 3rd through 8th is a critical time for girls. Research has shown that self-confidence begins to drop around the age of 9, and that then girls are less likely to raise their hands in the classroom. 50% of girls between the ages of 10 and 13 have reported bullying when peer relationships become central. Physical activity also begins to decline around the age of 10 and continues to do so through adolescence. Our spring 2021 season is slated to begin the week of April 19th. Teams will meet twice weekly, either virtually for 45 minutes or in person for an hour and 15 minutes. Teams consist of 8 to 15 girls led by 2 trained volunteer coaches. Families can register online. The fee per girl is $209, however, scholarships are available. We do not want financial barriers to prevent anyone from becoming a Girl on the Run. I became involved with Girls on the Run in 2015 as a volunteer coach in Caldwell, New Jersey. After 8 seasons of coaching, I was asked to join the staff, and I could not have been more excited to help bring this program to more schools and communities throughout Essex County. As a coach, a mother to a participant, and a social worker, I have seen firsthand how this curriculum can not only help girls, but also adults. This program is written through the eyes of a girl. It is fun, it is engaging, and it works. I would love the opportunity to help you bring Girls on the Run to your school or community. If you are interested in learning more, I ask that you please contact me. I look forward to connecting with you.
I don't wanna sit still, look pretty.
I feel that Special Olympics is a wonderful program for individuals with disabilities, and it allows them to compete and be part of a variety of different sporting events to teach them about teamwork and camaraderie.
Everybody is being kind to everybody. Everybody is working together.
It really helps me feel better as an athlete. It makes me feel proud who I am.
Special Olympics is really good for me my entire life. It's so important for all special needs, so people have really good support and want to be respect kind person with special needs.
It's a great program to join, and you meet new people, and you won't get judged by your disabilities.
We have 2 boys that have a rare genetic disorder. Special Olympics gives them a chance to really get out and exercise with the sports that they participate in, like swimming and cycling. These are things that they can't do with their typical peers, and it gives them an opportunity to do these things and be healthy.
Maureen participates in cycling, track and field,
and downhill snow skiing. So she's very busy all year, right? Special Olympics has been fabulous for her, and we constantly are encouraging more athletes to participate because it is a great, great organization.
We have fun so much at school. At any high school, like friends, activities like that. We had a great time with them. I enjoy it.
For years, I didn't know that I could get to participate and my kids could participate, but they found camaraderie. They have friendships. I developed new friendships. I gained a whole network of parents with whom I can talk with and relate to.
Me personally, I think Special Olympics has given me the confidence to maybe give more of my opinion, because in Special Olympics, everyone's opinion is accounted for, which is really, really amazing. I would have never been the person I am today without Special Olympics.
I personally just love the program because I love being a part of it, and I love doing different activities with everybody and just working as a group to build like team building skills and social skills. And it also changed my life because it actually made me realize I wanted to do this in the future.
I was really scared, and then all of a sudden I really like it, Special Olympics. It's really fun to meet all these people.
If I were to talk to them about Special Olympics, I would say to get involved as early as you can. It just changes your life. It educates you on so many different types of people in different ways to honestly teach someone about inclusion and how it really works.
It's incredible seeing all of the inclusiveness, and I'm really enjoying my time.
I love getting my friends with them so much.
You love hanging out with your friends?
Yeah.
Hanging out with you too.
I love my coaches.
Good song.
Whatever he said.
Hi, my name is Lisa, and I'm the Deputy Director of Bike and Pedestrian Programs at Easy Ride. About 50 years ago, in the 1970s, there was a huge oil crisis that led to high gas prices, a gas shortage, and an economic downturn. It was so bad, people were only allowed to drive every other day. Easy Ride was started in 1983 as a nonprofit to encourage carpools, public transit, and other ways to travel like biking that reduce traffic and air pollution. We were the first transportation management association in New Jersey, and we serve Bergen, Essex, Monmouth, Passaic, and Union counties.
Easy Ride Bike and Pedestrian Team works with hundreds of different schools and municipalities across our service area. We offer many different services with one underlying goal: help to improve the health of communities by promoting walking, biking, safety education, and improved infrastructure. In New Jersey, there were over 6,000 pedestrians killed or injured by motor vehicles this year. Since 2015, there have been 33 pedestrian crashes in Caldwell. In an effort to educate the public about safe pedestrian and cyclist behaviors, we focus our efforts on the future generation, the children. We partner with government agencies, private foundations, local nonprofits, and others to identify priorities and funding sources to implement biking and pedestrian programs. One of the byproducts of our work is community interaction and engagement.
Hi, my name is Latoya Howard, and I am one of the assistant coordinators of the Bike and Pedestrian team here at Easy Ride. And here we offer many educational resources for the communities in New Jersey. We offer presentations and bike skill training courses for schools looking to educate their students on pedestrian and bike safety. We give away free incentives like bike helmets, bells, and lights to the students who win our poster contests. And we offer these same educational resources to the elderly. We teach our audience how to be safe while walking and biking, as well as the laws in which cyclists and pedestrians must follow. Safety for our children and elderly are very important to us, and it is our mission to equip them with the necessary knowledge needed to keep them safe. For the municipalities that we serve in New Jersey, we offer street smart education and enforcement campaigns and guidance to conduct walk and bike audits. We come in and lead the city to successfully conduct audits that can be placed into applications for grants to help improve infrastructure in towns, making them safer for pedestrians and cyclists.
Grover Cleveland Chiefs, we're proud of our partnership with your school in Caldwell to encourage walking, biking, healthy living, and safer streets. We sincerely hope the walk and bike audit we did last year and the report we wrote will be used to improve safety, add bike lanes, crosswalks, street signs, sidewalks, and more street lighting. We also want to express our condolences on the passing of former Principal Jim Brown, who helped bring the Safe Routes to School program here. We hope you'll continue the work to make your streets safer for walking and biking. Consider a Drive Slow in 25 campaign, or coordinate a walk and bike to school day this May. Thank you, Principal Bertolo, for asking us to encourage community service and share our story.
Well, there are so many memories that I have of Jim Brown. I think that my favorite was back in 2014 when he let us duct tape him to the wall to raise money for the Valerie Fund. So at the time, I had a former student who I had just learned was diagnosed with cancer. So I wanted to do something to help. After researching different types of fundraisers, I approached Jim with the idea of Stick It to Cancer, where students would buy strips of duct tape in order to tape someone to the wall. And the idea was that once we put enough tape, they would be suspended from the wall. So we would have to do this during the kids' lunch periods. So that would mean that whoever was stuck to the wall would have to be there for about an hour and a half, and hopefully by the end would stay taped to the wall. So when I approached him with this idea, immediately without hesitation, Jim said yes. And not only that, somehow the idea came up that we would sell raffle tickets for a chance for each kid from each grade level to buy a raffle ticket to throw a pie in his face. So when the day came, Jim allowed himself to be covered in garbage bags and let a bunch of middle school kids duct tape him to the wall. And the entire hour and a half, he was smiling and laughing and was chatting with the kids. And honestly, I believe that it motivated them to buy even more duct tape and even more raffle tickets to try to hit him in the face with a pie. He was genuinely happy to be there and excited to help out. So in the end, after an hour and a half, we successfully hung Jim from the wall. He took 3 pies to the face, and we raised over $700 for the Valerie Fund. And not only that, he donated his own money and arranged for a representative for the Valerie Fund to come to our school. And that day, he presented the representative with a check for $1,000 in my former student's name. So I guess from this memory, I learned a lot about Jim and the kind of principal that he wanted to be. While he came up with the school motto, make a difference, today, he showed all of us, not just through his words, but through his actions, that helping others was one of the most important things that we should be teaching our students. And that's how he was. He led by example. When he wanted our school to be beautiful, he would climb a ladder and he could be found painting the hallways himself. If he wanted us to be our best in the classroom, he could be found covering classes and teaching actual lessons. If he wanted students to be their best selves, he could be found chatting with them in the cafeteria or taking part in being a student for the day and following kids to their classes to know what it was like to be a student at GCMS. So, by sacrificing his own time, energy, money, and a little bit of humility, Jim showed us early on and always the importance of helping others, especially those in our own community. So while words cannot adequately express how much he will be missed, the stories that we have of him and the memories that we continue to share will always put a smile on the face of anyone who knew him. I know that it does for me and so many of us here in Caldwell.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Hennigan, and I've taught 6th grade science here at the middle school for the past 5.5 years. Jim Brown was a true example of a leader. He had all of the qualities and characteristics that you would want in a principal. He cared deeply for his staff, his students, and the school community. His kindness and care was felt everywhere at GCMS. He greeted the students each morning in the halls with a smile on his face and always found a way to connect with them. The same was true when it came to his staff. He always remembered what we had going on in our lives, and he checked in frequently to see how we were doing. I can't tell you how many home improvement stories he and I shared after my now husband and I bought our house a few years ago. We had a lot of good laughs. I always thought of Jim as more than just an administrator, more like a mentor and a friend. I started at GCMS as a student teacher, and during my time at student teaching, Jim would regularly check in on me to see how things were going. He'd offer advice and encouragement whenever he could. As student teaching came to a close, he wrote me letters of recommendation and even did some job hunting for me, looking for openings or placements in surrounding districts. I was astounded by Jim's actions. It was so much more than I ever imagined that a principal would do, and I felt like it was far beyond his scope of responsibilities. However, over the years, I came to learn that was just who Jim was. He always went out of his way to help others. Jim saw my potential as an educator long before I ever did, and his confidence in me and my teaching ability is something that I will deeply cherish for the rest of my professional career. I know that I and the other amazing staff members here at GCMS will continue to serve our students and the community in Jim's honor by always making a difference.
Hi, I'm Nicole Sheridan, one of the 6th grade teachers at GCMS, and I started working here in September of 2017. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Mr. Brown, since he was the one who wanted to hire me. It was an absolute honor working for him, and one of my favorite stories that I have about him happened during my first year. It was in December, right around the holidays. The teachers all participated in a secret snowflake activity where we would pick names out of a hat and you had to buy that person a gift every day for a week leading up to our holiday break. And it was a secret and you didn't tell them who it was until the end. And who does the new girl pick but Mr. Brown? That's the name I got. And it made me so nervous. I was only working there for about 3 months at the time. And now I have to buy my boss gifts for a week. So thankfully, my coworkers on my 6th grade team helped me out since they knew him a little better than I did at the time. And they assured me that, Mr. Brown was definitely be a good sport about it. So I was able to buy some joke gifts, some funny gifts, and he was definitely so surprised at the end of the week when I revealed that I was his secret snowflake. But he laughed with me and made me feel a lot less awkward about it and nervous. And, he was always the person that could make anybody feel at ease. So I'm so grateful for the time that I got to spend with him and work for him, and just know that we miss him a lot.
Hi, I'm Rachel Doyle, the founder and CEO of Glamour Gals Foundation. I started Glamour Gals over 2 decades ago in honor of my grandmother who had passed away in a senior home. The mission of Glamour Gals is to provide companionship and conversation for seniors living in senior homes, and also to provide meaningful intergenerational leadership building opportunities for young people. I never imagined that our 20th anniversary would not be a celebration, but instead an entire rethinking of our program. So I wanted to share this short video with you so you could see firsthand the impact that we make every day, every week around the country to teens and seniors alike.
Hello?
Hi, Diane. This is Eileen from Glamour Gals.
Oh, hi!
Hi.
You know what? I miss you people. I really miss you people. Because I don't go for my nails or anything. I only wait until you people come.
Hi, I'm Christina Suku,
Layla Malovtic,
Serena Trevetti,
Michaela Benker,
Fazia Rahman,
Madison Brixey,
Joni Mazer,
and I was part of the Freehold Township High School chapter,
Bloomfield High School, the Mother Seton Regional High School chapter, as well as the Fairleigh Dickinson University chapter. I'm from the Comac High School chapter.
And my involvement with Glamour Gals actually goes back to 2004, where I was with Rachel when she first started the chapter back in Comac.
I was in the elevator, and when I got out, I saw so many senior citizens. I've never seen so many all at once.
The room is always
glowing when the young people are there.
Before joining Glamour Gals, I haven't spent a lot of time with seniors, and it kind of makes me feel like I missed out.
It's honestly kind of morphs into this scenario where it's like talking to a group of your best friends. You end up building such strong connections. You end up gaining like 10, 15 additional grandmas, which who couldn't use another like grandma in their life?
Listen, you're like my nieces and nephews, so you know, you fit like, it's like I wish I could take you all home, you know?
You don't actually know someone's story until they start telling you their story. And sometimes it's really easy to make assumptions about people, and then you learn that it's the complete opposite.
A woman I became really close with was Sally. She was somebody who did have a stroke and was paralyzed from like her neck down. She didn't say things, she like looked at things with her eyes, and that's how, and she would smile, and that's how I knew that's what the color we were going with. And that was like the first time I met her. After that, like we just kind of had our own language.
This woman that her and I bonded because we were both in choir at the same high school, but her choir group was a different name than mine. I was practicing a song for one of my classes. You know, we sang it together, and we had this huge gap between us in age and generations. It was just truly a bonding moment.
This one resident was sitting alone, so I was like, oh, I'll just go sit by her. Like, seems like she doesn't get that much attention usually. Italian music was playing on the radio, and this nurse was like talking to her in Italian and like singing the music, and she like turned her head, and I was like, oh, and I asked her in Italian, like, do you speak Italian? And she couldn't respond because she's not verbal, but like she grabbed my hand and gave it a kiss, and like that's when I knew like she was like engaged and like she knew what was going on.
I think 2020 has really been a year of reflection, growth. There's been a lot of trauma for our nation, for the world.
And in my mind, it wasn't the last makeover. It was just a makeover in February. And then just having everything like pulled out under us, just saying like, you can't visit these people because you might harm them.
You know, having those letters.
To my dear friend, I hope you are having an amazing day.
And I know recently the Glamour Gals made some phone calls, and it just brightened their day. And they need that so much right now.
If you're comfortable with change, then you'll be fine in Glamour Gals. Because even though we do have our main makeovers, we're always trying to come up with new things, new activities.
Yes! Do you remember the picture you took with Jackie? Yeah. They made a coloring book. That's you! Yeah!
All the people that I visited have always been very vocal about how we've brightened their day or impacted their life or made them feel beautiful. And I would just say thank you to them for making me feel the exact same way.
They've helped me come out of my shell, be more comfortable with talking in public, and just helped me be a kinder person.
I really think that the community that I experienced during my time at Glamour Gals helped shape my whole medical career.
After hearing stories from all these amazing seniors about how traveling abroad has changed their lives, it's really made me rethink my future. And I've kind of come to the conclusion that I might go and study abroad in college.
I would be like, stay positive, stay strong, but I feel like they're more positive and stronger than I am.
I was trying to talk to her about prom, and she was like, oh, well, the war came during my prom, so there were no men to go with. She said you can make any fun with what little you have.
That's just to remember the past. This is not the first time that we had such a condition. We are so stubborn, and we will find a way, and it's nothing to get distressed over. Just have faith and trust. Everything will get back to normal in time. There's a song, we did it before and we can do it again, and we can do it again. I love you, Eileen. Bye-bye.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Hi, I am Lori Brown, Board Vice President at Dress for Success, Northern New Jersey, 10 counties. I started volunteering in 2017 at the excess inventory sale and have increased my involvement with each passing year. This organization combines my passion for championing women and my love for fashion. So what is Dress for Success? We are an international nonprofit organization. Some of what we do is provide new or gently used office-appropriate professional attire for women seeking employment. We go beyond the suit. Our mission is to empower women to achieve economic independence by providing a network of support, professional attire, and development tools to help women thrive in work and in life. We were founded on the principles of gender, racial, and socioeconomic equality for all women. In 23 years, Dress for Success Northern New Jersey has helped over 23,000 women, with 2020 being our most challenging year due to COVID-19. We have not lost a moment and quickly shifted our programming to virtual using Zoom, like all of you have been doing at school. We rely heavily on corporate support and have partnered with the New York Jets, L'Oreal, Kate Spade, Benefit Cosmetics, and Party City, to name a few. We are equally thankful for the support of the stores and services in our area. Barry's Baubles, David Chad, Harmony Day Spa, Rock and Joe's, Smith & Company, and Walter Bauman Jewelers. Our volunteers are the backbone of our organization and help us execute our full suite of free programs. We also have several fundraising events a year, with our largest event in March, our second annual Women's Leadership Summit. Fashion icon Nicole Miller will be our keynote speaker, with supermodel Carol Alt interviewing her. In 2021, we will continue to expand and explore new growth opportunities and partnerships to help the women in the 10 New Jersey counties we serve. We thank you for inviting us to participate in Make a Difference Day at Grover Cleveland Middle School and to honor the memory and legacy of Principal Jim Brown.
Good morning, Grover Cleveland Middle School. Thank you guys so much for inviting me to your Make a Difference Day 2021. My name is Roosevelt Boone. I'm the co-founder and program director for Strong Mind, Strong Body Incorporated. And what that is a nonprofit organization that exists to improve the quality of life for those vulnerable or under-resourced families and communities. We provide summer programs for youth that can't afford to go to summer camps. We provide job readiness training for adults who have been laid off or cannot find employment. And we provide mental health resources for those that are dealing with mental health issues. The program started as an undergrad in 2011 at the University of Maine, where I was a student athlete, and I recognized the need to provide more for those under-resourced or underserved communities. We've grown and expanded to include programming in DC as well as Ghana, West Africa over our 10-year span, and look to do more continuously throughout the next 10 or 15 years. That's what we need your support. So check us out online at www.strongmindstrongbodyinc.org or visit our Instagram page. It's new, and I just developed it so I could use some help getting the followers, getting the word out there. So check us out on Instagram as well at strongmind_strongbodyinc.org. Lastly, I'll leave you guys with the challenge. The challenge is to do something for someone who can't return the favor for you. So whether it's that's a classmate of yours or it's someone in your local community, on today, a day of service, give back to someone that can't help you in return. Thank you guys for the invitation again, and I look forward to being a part of this 2022 Make a Difference Day.
So it was September of 2017, and I had gone down to Mr. Brown's office to tell him that I needed half of a personal day to go and do a volunteer activity with the J Fund. So he starts asking me about it. I told him, I was going to the city, going to Cipriani's, and we're going to raise some money for kids who are battling cancer. And the first thing out of Mr. Brown's mouth was, how can we help? What can GCMS do to help these kids? Well, 3 months later, we were heading down to Newark Beth Israel Hospital, and we were dropping off tons and tons and tons of presents for 20 amazing families. From that point on, we were hooked. Mr. Brown loved it. Whenever we were at the hospital dropping off gifts over the next couple years, it was as if Mr. Brown knew these families. He would welcome them, just the talking and the conversations. One family in particular, their last name happened to be Caldwell, and they hit it off. Mr. Brown and his family, it was a mother and a little girl, and they had a couple other siblings. They were chatting up a storm. The mom was so excited that we were from Caldwell, and Mr. Brown got her address and was sending them a bunch of Caldwell apparel. They were just completely floored. But that's the way Mr. Brown was. He always sat there, always had conversations with the people, made them feel so welcomed and so deserving of, of the gifts that they were getting from us. They were going through so much, between being at the hospital all the time, not being able to go shopping, just the parents putting all the effort into their kids. Mr. Brown was so happy and just, that we were doing this for them, and they were speechless. But once I said, Mr. Brown was always that person to be there, to talk to them, to make them feel comfortable. I also had the opportunity, one time in June, there was it's called an J Fund Sunday Blitz, which is where they have a bunch of kids to kind of get out of the hospital for a day, and they go to MetLife Stadium, and a bunch of giants are there, and there's ice cream, there's games, there's music, all kinds of things. Mr. Brown came with my husband, myself, and we were there. And I don't know how Mr. Brown did it, because Mr. Brown was a huge, huge, huge Cowboys fan. But for him to walk into an area that's surrounded by giants, between giants headbands, wristbands, those little blow up inflatable things, giants everywhere, Mr. Brown had a blast. From the second he walked in there, between helping out to set up, to going around and playing with he was lost. He was playing foosball with kids. He was playing Simon Says with the kids. He was playing football with the kids. He had a blast. He had a way of everybody feeling happy, welcome, as if he knew the families for years and he had just met them. That was Mr. Brown, always out to make a difference.
So, all the products, right? I love them. I order them from this company all the time. These things are all over the house, all over my classroom, everywhere. They are everywhere, all the time. So one day, Jim Brown asks me to send him a purchase order or some kind of field trip form or something for him to sign. I put it in our office mail, and I go about my business, whatever. 3 days later, I get that same envelope in my mailbox from Jim. I'm like, what did I do? Something wrong, whatever, I didn't do something. And inside the envelope is the order form for my perfume with a Post-it note from Jim saying, am I missing something here? Am I supposed to order this? Please enlighten me.
Hi, my name is Danielle, and I'm an 8th grade math teacher at GCMS. Jim made a huge impact on my life since the very first day I met him. On my interview, he actually asked me if I was a baker. And at the time I wasn't, but I said I would learn because I really wanted a chance to work at GCMS. And ever since then, I learned to bake, and I actually love it now. And I think of Jim every time I bake, and I'm so thankful he asked me that question. And I'm so thankful for the opportunity to have known him.
Hi, my name is Frank Squio. I am the founder of Baking Memories for Kids. We are a nonprofit based in New York State, and what we do is we send terminally ill and very sick children and their entire family on all expense-paid trips to all of the Florida amusement parks for an entire week. Foundation started back about 14 years ago when I was diagnosed with a very severe stage 3 cancer. And if it was only a matter of miracles that I was able to catch it in time and do the chemo and a couple of surgeries. But knowing that sometimes really bad things happen, but amazing things come out of it. Sometimes your destiny is revealed in tragic times. I knew that there was a bigger purpose for my cancer and been able to survive it. So I quickly started doing some homework and launched a nonprofit that's called Baking Memories for Kids. And what we do to fund our trips is we make these amazing chocolate chip cookies with our volunteers over the holiday season, and we sell them all over the internet and to corporations, and schools use them as fundraisers as well. And we raise money, and then what we do is we put that money together, and then we find really dynamic families that don't have the resources to do a trip like this. And then I fly to that city, and we announce that they and their brothers and sisters and mom and dad are going to get on a plane and go down to Disney World, SeaWorld, Universal Studios, Legoland, and all of the Florida amusement parks for an entire week. And to say that it's priceless, their reaction, and what we're giving them is the best gift they can ever get, is there are no words to describe their reaction. We have sent so far about 213 families over the 8 years that we've been in existence. We usually send about 20 to 30 families plus a year, and people can come right to us and nominate a family by going right to our website. The website is Baking Memories, the number 4 Kids. We sell the cookies in November and December, and we use all of that money again to pay for the trips. We have over 3,000 volunteers that help make the cookies. They're made from scratch. It's an amazing recipe. I've been baking these cookies since I was about 6 years old, and we've sold over 2.5 million cookies in the short time that we've been selling cookies. We also broke the Guinness World Book record for most cookies made in 1 hour. It's a world record that we accomplished last year. But the reason why I'm sharing this story with you guys is to show you that one person can change the lives of so many. Not only are we given the gift of these trips, but what we've really given are memories to families that have lost their children that we've sent. How precious are those memories that when they were running in the park in Disney World, seeing the castle for the first time, seeing the characters for the first time, and just being children for a whole week. How important are those memories to mom and dad? Because that child might no longer be there with them. So we are blessed enough to help families all over the country. I do it with my volunteers, but knowing that everybody can make a difference and change the lives of someone. And I'm really blessed to have gotten the cancer that I've gotten and been able to change the lives of so many people in this country. So I hope you guys enjoyed my story. God bless you all, and thank you for including me in your day.
Hi everyone, my name is Kylie LeGrand, and I am the founder and executive director of A Moment of Magic Foundation. A Moment of Magic is a nonprofit organization that empowers college student volunteers to visit pediatric hospitals and social service institutions to provide creative programming to medically vulnerable children. So if you've ever seen a princess or a superhero in the hospital visiting the kids there, it's likely the work of A Moment of Magic. Essentially what we do is we help students in college go into the hospitals or work with children in foster care or with varying abilities and help just restore the magic of childhood. So we all know how important and special it is to feel like someone understands us and to have fun. And that's what we really try to help empower our college student volunteers to do. We ask them to spend time with kids that are in need and ask them to color and do crafts and do music and play sports and just enjoy the time of being a kid when that's what they need. So we originally started when I was in college, and it kind of was a big accident. I was looking for a way to volunteer, and one day I was with my mom, and she was flipping through the channels on TV, and she saw Frozen, and she pointed out that she thought that I looked like Elsa. And I thought how cool it would be to dress up as Elsa and visit children in the hospital. So that's what I started doing. I loved it so much that I wanted to do it all the time, and I wanted my friends to get involved and to help as many kids as possible. So that's what we did. Since we started 6 years ago, we have worked with over 1,000 college student volunteers and have helped provide a moment of magic to more than 100 5,000 kids across the country. It's really incredible. It makes a difference by showing kids that friendship and love and joy and laughter are really the best way to connect with people and the best way to get through a hard experience. So my advice for you guys is to find your magic and to use it. Thanks so much for including me, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Hi, my name is Terry Sears, and I'm the Executive Director of Tuesday's Children. I'm honored to be with you today as you recognize the legacy of your principal, Mr. Jim Brown. What a way to honor his legacy by Make a Difference Day. I understand he was a beloved husband, father, son, brother, coach, and loved by all. I'm here and I have the opportunity to tell you about the work of Tuesday's Children, which was formed in the days and weeks following the events of Tuesday, September 11th. As you may know, nearly 3,000 people lost their lives on that day, and many more of the brave 9/11 responders have lost their lives due to health issues since that day. Tuesday's Children supports the 9/11 community. That's the 3,051 children who lost a parent on that day, and the many thousands of 9/11 responders that really ran towards the building while everyone else was running away. We also work with our nation's Gold Star families. As you may know, so many of our nation's military answered the call after September 11th to defend and protect our nation, and in doing so, risked and in some cases lost their lives, leaving behind a wife, a husband, or children. So we provide the same long-term healing programs for those families as we have done for 20 years for the 9/11 families. These programs consist of mentoring, which is providing a role model for a child to be there, to be an extra set of eyes and ears for that child, to provide leadership programs, college and career guidance, life management programs for the surviving mom or dad, and really just be there for them in any way over their post-loss journey. We also have an international program called Project Common Bond, which we've run for nearly 15 years. As we know, people all over the world and for many generations have lost loved ones due to terrorism, mass violence, or war. We bring these families together and these young adults together between the ages of 15 to 20 to connect over their loss and to kind of figure out ways, whether it's peace building or leadership or giving back to others, that they can sort of make a positive difference post their loss. Our work continues, and also we share lessons learned with communities that have been impacted by mass violence, such as the Newtown school systems, Parkland, Orlando after the Pulse nightclub shootings, Las Vegas, and unfortunately too many to mention. We would love if you'd like to get involved in our work. We've been serving the tri-state area and now places all around the world for 2 decades and would love to have you involved. Please feel free to reach out to me at Terry@TuesdaysChildren, TERRY@TuesdaysChildren.org. And really have a wonderful day, and I applaud you for making a difference. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Malia, and I am an 8th grader at Grover Cleveland Middle School. One memory that I have of Mr. Brown took place during my first week at Grover Cleveland. I was so scared. I was a tiny little 6th grader in the big, long hallways at the middle school. So when I walked into the cafeteria, I was overwhelmed. I had no one to sit with. So I just sat at a random table. Mr. Brown came out of the blue and went to talk to us. He asked us our interests, our passions, what we wanted to accomplish during our middle school experience, our favorite subjects, and whatever we were interested in. He was genuinely interested in getting to know us. I'd never seen someone care so much about their students the way Mr. Brown did. I immediately felt at home because I knew that I had a principal that wanted to see all of his students succeed in different ways, and that was very comforting to me. Mr. Brown's legacy of compassion and kindness will live on because he has touched so many hearts, including mine. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Billy Slater. I'm a 10th grader at JCHS, and I'm just so grateful to have known Mr. Brown. He was such a nice principal. I mean, whenever I would see him in the hallway, I would always say hi to him, and he was just always so kind and thoughtful.
Hello, my name is Alessandra Belomo. I'm currently a 9th grader at JCHS, and I had Mr. Brown for all 3 years of middle school, and I'm here to talk about just that. So, Mr. Brown, we know him as the forgive and forget type of person, the I'm always there for you type of person, the extra helping hand, the let me get to know you type of person. We all talk about it, we all know it's true. We all talk about the heart that he held, but we never touch up on what his heart may have held. So in the 8th grade, my friends and I were doing a skit in Italian class called Il Malocchio. So the superstition played out that somebody would give another person an evil glare and the other person would then have a curse on them. So my friends and I, when we would walk in the halls, we would be like, and Mr. Brown was on hallway duty, you know, when we did this stuff. And eventually he caught on to the fact that we were doing it every single time we saw each other. And he says, I'm Italian, you know, I know what Il Malocchio is. And he started joking with us, and eventually me and him had this joke going. Every time I would see him and he would see me, we'd be like, and it was really funny. The last day before quarantine, fast forward, my mom came to pick up my books and my instrument, basically my stuff from the middle school. She just got out of work when she went to go pick it up, and she was actually one of the last people there to pick up stuff for their kids. So Mr. Brown was actually just waiting there with the materials and everything, just personally waiting for her to come and pick it up. And one thing that Mr. Brown said was that we all knew what was coming next. You know, this was going to be really hard on the youth, and of course I'm referring to COVID at this time. It was right before quarantine. All this COVID stuff was definitely going to impact the youth. He knew this. We didn't know what was happening, but he knew that this was going to take a toll on kids. The bag that he gave my mom with my books and everything in it was this bag. It says, making a difference. Making a difference. He said that he usually only gives it to his staff members, but this would be a little gift from him to me. And she came home with it, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Little did we know that it would be his last gift. He let all of us be kids. When he was around, we could laugh, joke, just really escape from the world where we were at. But Mr. Brown didn't just snatch us away from reality then went about his way. No, he actually helped us through reality despite what he was going through personally. I mean, everybody has highs and lows, including Mr. Brown. He is no exception. When Mr. Brown jokingly gave me Il Malocchio, do you think that he could have felt like seriously giving it to somebody else? Of course. But did he? No, he didn't. So if you add this all up, it seems that Mr. Brown's motto, make a difference today, was his mission all along. And if you take a deeper look at this bag, it clearly says, it's what I do. So it doesn't seem that Mr. Brown's mission of making a difference was only his. It seems that he entrusted it to us too. So now it's our turn. What are we going to do with this grace-laden gift at life? My idea? We make the difference that Mr. Brown has taught us to make.
thank you so much for welcoming me on behalf of Make-A-Wish New Jersey. My name is Jessica Daniels, and I'm here today to tell you a little bit about Make-A-Wish New Jersey. The Make-A-Wish Foundation was founded in Arizona in 1980, and Make-A-Wish New Jersey was founded in 1983. The pandemic has greatly affected everyone, but we have been resilient and creative, and we have never stopped delivering hope, because hope cannot and will not be canceled. Wishes come in all types, and all of them inspire us. Next, you will hear about a recently granted wish for Wish Kid Jaden, who wished to have a camper.
A 15-year-old boy from Monmouth County's wish comes true. Jaden Lucian needed a kidney transplant. In July, he got it from his mom. Today, the Make-A-Wish Foundation gives Jaden a special gift. News 12 New Jersey's Jim Murdoch has the story from Neptune Township.
From the decorations to the parade to Jaden's biggest surprise of the day, his new Hitch RV camper, it all meant one thing, a showcase of caring for the 15-year-old who has barely stepped outside in months.
What do you plan doing with this camper?
Sleepy, crazy, and exciting. I'm kind of shocked and nervous. Can't believe this many people showed up.
With Mom Ashley and Dad Jeffrey by his side, Jaden took it all in.
Today he's not a kidney recipient, he's just Jaden.
Even the masks couldn't block Jaden's beaming smile.
It's a big load of pressure coming off. Jaden loves to travel. That's one of his big things. He's probably been to more countries than I've been. And because of COVID, he hasn't been able to travel.
And in this COVID-19 pandemic, these wishes carry even more meaning.
Days like this, when we're granting a wish, this is what it's all about, but especially being able to engage the community when very often these wish experiences are private.
I get to relax inside the camper by myself now and get to reflect on everything. So yeah, this is nice.
The folks from Make-A-Wish want you to know, watching this at home, this cannot have been possible without all the help from the donations over the years. They rely on private and public donations to make wishes like Jaden's come true. In Neptune, Monmouth County, I'm Jim Murdoch, News 12, New Jersey.
As you can see from Wish Kid Jaden, wishes are transformational and life-changing. It is important to know that the only source of funding we get is from the kindness and generosity of individuals and groups like you who come together to decide to raise money to help grant these unique and special wishes. I run the Kids for Wish Kids program here at Make-A-Wish New Jersey, and it is one of my favorites because we see kids coming together to help other kids. Thank you, Grover Cleveland Middle School, for your support of Make-A-Wish New Jersey and making a difference.
Hi, I'm Bailey Pretek. And did you know that when I was your age, I thought I was ugly? I felt I had no value or worth. And that's because I grew up with a rare skin condition called lamellar ichthyosis. It was something I couldn't hide. And I was bullied, excluded, people wouldn't touch things I touched. My nickname was even Scaly Bailey. But over the course of time, I began to realize that my skin is what makes me different, yes, but that's okay. And it became one of my greatest blessings in my life. And that transformation happened through my faith, through the performing arts, and just realizing that it's a choice how I view myself. And now I'm a motivational speaker, and my mission is to go out there and help other people discover that they can have confidence in who they are. They can embrace their uniqueness. And I do this by speaking at schools, I have an online course, and even speaking at conferences. I've had the honor and privilege of being on Dr. Oz and having a documentary done by Barcroft Media for their Shake My Beauty series. My story's been shared with Allure magazine, Yahoo, and different sites around the world. Another way that I make a difference, and a thing that I'm passionate about, is challenging the world's view of beauty. Because they tell you that you have to look a certain way and act a certain way and fit into this mold. But very, very few people actually can. But did you know that there's such beauty in being different and unique? That's what makes you special and not like anyone else. There are things in this world that only you can bring. So don't hide from the fact that you might be different or unique in a certain way. I did for a long time, but life has been so much more fulfilling when I've embraced it. So I challenged the world's view of beauty by doing things like competing in pageants. And also I walked in a fashion show. So not a typical place where you would see someone with a skin condition. But again, I'm just trying to show people that there's so many different forms of beauty. And the last way I make a difference is just by being kind. This world has so many unkindnesses. I mean, you can just look around and see it everywhere you go. But I challenge each and every one of you to be kind. Be the better person, no matter how challenging or tough it can be. Because the more kind people we have in this world will change. So go out there, be kind, be loving, and go make a difference.
Thank you for inviting me to be part of the Grover Cleveland Middle School's Day of Service. Today is an important day. Helping others makes us happy. Serving others is good for our mental health, our emotional well-being, and our self-esteem. And the laws of the universe have shown time and time again that those who serve others are more successful themselves. My name is Mary Jane Pilzello, and I am the Program Director for the Tom Coughlin J Fund. The J Fund helps families who have a child tackling cancer. How do we help? Treating cancer is expensive. So the biggest way we help families is paying their bills at home so they can focus on one thing, getting their child healthy. We want to make sure our families have food on their table, have the lights on in their home, and keep the roof over their heads. We also like to try and give kids and their families a day off from cancer by offering fun activities and experiences like a party at MetLife Stadium or a chance to attend the New York Giants training camp. We know that when a child has cancer, it affects the entire family. So our goal is to be there for the entire family. Thank you to everyone at Grover Cleveland Middle School for all you continue to do to support the J Fund. The work you do collecting toys, decorating bags, wrapping presents, and writing notes is so important to our J Fund families. Principal Brown was a very dear friend of the J Fund, and in serving others, you honor his memory. Principal Brown served our J Fund families by volunteering his time to deliver hundreds of holiday gifts donated by Grover Cleveland Middle School students and parents. We will never forget Jim's kindness and incredible service to so many families facing the unimaginable. I wish you well today, and I want you to know how proud we all are to have you on our team. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Debbie Santulli, and I'm the Bridge Counselor at the middle school. I wanted to share a few of my memories of Mr. Brown. One thing I wanted to share is Mr. Brown always allowed me to do my job without any hesitation, meaning whatever families, students, and our staff needed, he allowed me to figure out ways to help them. Together with the guidance department, we made sure that if a student needed a new pair of sneakers and couldn't afford it, we'd find ways to get them sneakers, coats. If a family needed food and they were really having hard times, we'd have collections to get gift cards at our local grocery stores. If a student needed to go or wanted to go on a class trip, whether it's during school time and even our Florida trips, many times Mr. Brown would put his hands in his own pockets to pay for these types of trips, as well as lunch money. Big service projects were a big thing for Mr. Brown. Together, we helped many different organizations like the J Fund, the Interfaith Hospitality Group, the Human Needs Pantry in Montclair, and even our local food pantry. We would do service projects just to help our community and to make a difference. Another memory I have of Mr. Brown was how proud he was of his family, and that translated to us as a school community. He always wanted to know what we were doing, what our families were doing, and he was there to celebrate the many great things that happened in our families, as well as support us when things were not so good. So that was something that was important to Mr. Brown, was family, and you saw that how he treated us individually as well as he treated our school as a community. And those are some of my memories of Mr. Brown. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Krista Grinkin. I was a social worker at Grover Cleveland Middle School for the past 8 years, and I had the amazing opportunity to work with Jim Brown for the entire 8 years that I was there, and I can tell you he made a difference in many different ways. One of them was by being a wonderful colleague and friend. He made our working environment fun. But what sticks out to me most is that Jim was always up for trying new things. He wanted to really make a difference within the school community, and he supported new initiatives, new ideas. He was enthusiastic. He was always willing to help. Jim was never the type to leave a meeting early and delegate work. He just wanted to get his hands dirty and make sure that we were the best school we could possibly be. He always had the students in mind, and he was really a special, special person, and I miss him all the time.
Susan Nogales, and I was blessed to work with Jim during his time at GCMS and grateful to call him a friend. It's very difficult to choose one memory, one story, one funny anecdote, because I am lucky enough to have so many. Every day was an opportunity to learn, help, and laugh together. Jim knew the definition of what a leader is, and more importantly, walked the talk. He valued, appreciated, and respected his staff and students, and always said, "We are a team." Jim had no ego. He was always open to listen and trust for the good of all. It was no surprise to see the outpouring of love, positivity, and support for Jim after he passed. He had the ability to connect with people in a way that made each relationship unique. Jim truly made a difference in every life he touched. We will continue to honor him. Jim, thank you for being you. I miss you.
Hello, Grover Cleveland Middle School. I'm so thankful to be here today. It's a wonderful opportunity to be a part of this wonderful Jim Brown Make a Difference Day that you all are doing. So my name is Scott Prendergast, and I represent a nonprofit organization called Minding Your Mind. And at Minding Your Mind, our primary objective is to provide education to young adults, adolescents, teachers, and school administrators about the importance of mental health. And our overall goal is to work on reducing the stigma and destructive behaviors that are often associated with mental health. And we want to make sure that by doing this, we're moving away from crisis-based response and instead towards prevention through education. And we find that at Minding Your Mind, one of the best ways that we're able to do this is by have speakers such as myself come into different schools, whether it be virtually or online, and share our own personal stories and our own experiences in dealing with mental health while we were growing up. And we find that by providing a personal narrative, not only is it something that educators and students alike can really find themselves connecting with, but it also provides hope. And by having a speaker get up on the stage and share their own personal story, especially about difficulties they face with mental health, not only does it allow people to feel hope, but it also opens up a conversation. And it provides a space where people can realize, hey, it's okay to talk about mental health, and it's okay to seek out help when you need it. And at Minding Your Mind, we want to make sure that wherever we go and wherever our speakers are, that we're impacting at least just one person every time. Even if it's just one administrator or one student or one parent, we feel that if our speakers can connect with them, then we have done our job. And we want to make sure that at Minding Your Mind, we too continue to make a difference by traveling to schools all over the country, providing hope and inspiring others to help them move past those mental health issues that they have faced, and also to realize that it's okay to talk about it. So I want to thank you for allowing me to make this video and to be part of the Jim Brown Make a Difference Day. It truly is an honor. It's a wonderful thing you all are doing. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and I hope that everyone keeps paying attention to their mental health, and just like our organization is named, keep minding your mind and focusing on your mental health. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lauren Tuckman, and I am the Director of Clinical Services at The Bridge. Today I'm going to share with you many of the wonderful services we provide. If you didn't know already, The Bridge is a nonprofit, community-based organization that provides behavioral health care services which are designed to strengthen and support the family and promote the personal growth of children, adolescents, adults, and seniors. I'm here to tell you a little bit about what we do and who we help. We have outpatient mental health and substance use services located in our West Caldwell and Irvington offices. The Bridge has been using a holistic treatment approach to provide counseling services to children, adults, and families to address complex struggles, including depression, anxiety, anger management, relational and family conflict, and substance use counseling. From parenting challenges to dealing with grief, trauma, divorce, and life transitions, we help people utilize behavioral tactics, develop coping skills, and improve their overall well-being. Before COVID-19, we were providing outpatient counseling in the office, and now we are mostly providing services through telehealth. Here in the West Caldwell School District, in the Caldwell West Caldwell School District, we have a program called the Peace Model Project. The Bridge has collaborated with the Caldwell West Caldwell School District to provide school-based counseling services for over 45 years. The Peace Model Project includes a team of 4 elementary school counselors who are each dedicated to one of the 4 elementary schools and 1 counselor in the middle school. The purpose of the Peace Model Project is to fully integrate mental health support and social and emotional learning in the elementary school communities by providing in-class lessons at the elementary schools and individual counseling groups and resources at both the elementary and middle school level. Next up, Family Preservation Services, better known as FPS. FPS provides intensive in-home crisis intervention and family education to families who have a presenting crisis where their children are at risk of abuse, neglect, or an out-of-home placement, or to families whose children are scheduled to be reunified. The program goals are child safety, family stabilization, placement prevention, improved family functioning, and linkage to community resources. Our next stop is school-based services in Irvington. The Amani Center has been serving the youth in the community of Irvington for over 30 years. Our impact runs deep and wide. The program services are offered before, during, and after school and throughout the summer, and they're all available in Spanish and Creole. The specific services that they provide are mental health services, healthy youth development, primary and preventative health services, substance abuse counseling, and referral employment services. Additionally, they also do pregnancy prevention work, learning support services, and referrals to community-based services when necessary. The Amani Center is located on the grounds of Irvington High School, and they also work closely with our school-based services for the middle school MAP program. MAPS is a school-based youth service program operating out of the University Middle School in Irvington. At University Middle School, the Bridge, the MAP program, students are receiving individual and group support through the Bridge staff. Programs are held during traditional and unconventional hours. Traditional hours are indicated as during and after school. Unconventional hours would include students' lunch breaks, Saturdays, fall and spring break sessions, and summer hours. The range of days and times promote the concept that the program is flexible and willing to educate and support the students. The services provide academic assistance, leadership, and community outreach programs. Supplemental programs that also serve as resources are uniform distribution, school supplies, and translation services in French, Creole, and Spanish. So that was our little tour about the Bridge. I hope you enjoyed it, and it was great meeting you. Thank you. Bye.
Hi guys, my name is Lauren Carone, and I am the director for a program called Real Life Relationships. And we do it for middle schools and high schools, community groups, different after-school programs in the local North Jersey area. And I've been here for about 7 years now. And I love my job. I love being able to work with teens and talking about some healthy relationships and helping them to see that loving, good relationships are definitely possible, and maybe recognize some of the warning signs of an unhealthy relationship and helping them to set those personal boundaries that might be needed. We also talk about good decision making as well as goal setting and having good character, because all of those things really help us with achieving our goals and helping us to feel more fulfilled and be successful in life. So I definitely love my job, and this nonprofit is really great, and we don't charge any of the schools or organizations that we go to. So it's just really great being able to help people. So thanks so much for having me. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Kathy Salvanto. I worked with Jim for 9 years at GCMS, and I will always remember Jim for the compassionate administrator that he was. I will remember him for the strong leader that he was. I will remember him for coming into room 201 to share a good old Italian lunch with us. I will remember him for always having our back. He stepped in on more than one occasion to be an 8th grade English teacher again. And every day we miss Jim, we think about him, and although he's not here anymore, he's not forgotten. Rest in peace, Jim Brown.
A great memory that I have of Jim Brown is back in 2013. I wanted to create a theme for the whole school for Halloween. And I had presented to everyone, and I was like coming up with ideas. How about minions? And everyone in the school was like, yeah, we'll be minions. It's a great one. It's an easy one for everyone to do. And I presented it to Jim, and he was like, minions? I'm like, yeah, everyone's going to be a character. I'm like, you can be Gru. And he's like, Gru? I'm like, I am not. He was not thrilled with being Gru. He was like, no. He goes, how am I going to do that? He was just not happy at all. But he agreed. He agreed to do it. And I remember him complaining all along the way. He goes, I'm going to be wearing a mask. I'm telling kids not to wear a mask, and you're making me wear a mask. And he's like, Dad. He goes, I had to buy this scarf. It was like $50 for the scarf. And I was like, come on, Jim. But he did it. And he looked great, and we looked great all together. And the kids thought he looked fantastic. But it was hysterical because I know that he was not thrilled with doing it at all. But he loved Halloween, and he loved dressing up. And that was one of the things that it was so much fun about him, that he would really get into character. And I know that he was just standing in the hallway checking out all the other students. And I don't think he was thrilled, but he did it. And he did it because he knew that it was a group thing, and he was one that would always, be a part of the group. One of my favorite Halloweens later on, when we did other themes that he was much more happy with doing, but one of my favorite ones was in 2016, and we did the Wild Wild West. And he agreed to do that, no problem. And he was the sheriff, and I thought that he looked great. And one of the things I always used to do is take pictures throughout the school. And I caught this picture of him coming down the hallway, and I just thought it was, to me, it was Jim. He was walking down the hallway, and I took a series of pictures. And if you look at him, he is really doing what he likes, what he did best, walk around his domain. And this was his domain. And if you look carefully, he had his cell phone in his hand, and that was his weapon. He always had it with him. Jim Brown, you are our sheriff. Always will be.
My name is Gina Doan, and I worked with Jim at Grover Cleveland Middle School. I spent the last part of my career at Grover Cleveland Middle School working with Jim. He was first my mentor when I was working on getting my graduate degree in educational leadership. And I spent the summer when I was pregnant with my son with Jim, learning from him about how passionate he was about different projects and different innovative things at the middle school level. And he was a great support for me as I was heading into having a child and sharing his personal experiences about being a parent and being a teacher and being an administrator. When I came back after having my son, I became the Dean of Students under Jim, who he was really a champion of me becoming an administrator. And he really helped me learn and grow how to be the best kind of administrator I could be. The one thing that I valued the most about Jim, and I will always remember as an administrator, is that he really felt that as important as his job was, and as important of a job as it is to be a teacher and an administrator, that the most important thing in the world is your family. And when things came up that were impacting me with my son or my husband, my family always came first, and Jim always valued that. And I'll carry that with me, and that's a legacy I really believe Jim leaves with every person he touched.
Welfare Center. My name is Karen, and I'd like to welcome you to our Madison campus today. Did you know that 2 out of every 3 American households includes a pet? That's 67% of U.S. families that own a pet. There's no denying that our pets are beloved members of our family as they bring us joy and comfort each and every day. But we're going to take a closer look at the ways that we support both people and animals.
St. Hubert's is dedicated to the humane treatment of animals. We believe in and provide services that support the human-animal bond and seek to foster an environment in which people respect all living creatures. All members of our team, staff, volunteers, donors, and adopters play a critical role in helping us to achieve our mission. With so many families, including pets, it is important that we do whatever we can to keep families together, provide a hand up when needed, and bring awareness to an ever-growing and changing industry. Service comes in many different forms. No activity or effort less meaningful than another. Whether socializing a shy cat, doing laundry to ensure warm, cozy blankets for a good night's rest, fundraising to ensure the heat stays on through cold winter months, or collecting supplies so our animals can go to sleep with full bellies, there are so many ways to help, and so much help to be had. Fostering, cleaning kennels, answering phones, educating, making enrichment, the list goes on and on. What a great feeling it is knowing that whatever service you provide, it is all done for the good of the animals. We view the animals that come into our care as individuals. There is a well-known saying that reads, "Saving one dog will not change the world, but surely for that one dog, the world will change forever." This is why we do what we do.
Hi everyone, my name's Chloe Hannah. And I'm Jenny Addis, and we created an organization called Note in a Tote. We created Note in a Tote our sophomore year of high school, so 2 years ago, and it started as a school project for our English class, and then we developed it into a school club last year. And so for our club and organization, what we do is we help out the homeless community in Philadelphia by collecting donations and putting them in a tote bag as well as a handwritten note. And that's basically all it takes is just a bunch of donations that the homeless would need and a sweet note like this one that says, "Stay strong and make the world wonder how you are still smiling." And here's our logo. And we'll show you a little bit of what we keep in our bags. So some of the things that we put in our bags, we have things such as masks, toothbrush, toothpaste, and feminine products, as well as we like to keep a reusable water bottle, trash bags, some extra shirts or clothes or whatever we have laying around, and like scarves and hats and gloves for the winter. Definitely some socks, deodorant, tissues. We do like to keep sunscreen in there. No matter what time of year it is, you can always get burnt. And then some things like chapstick and granola bars, as well as wipes and hand sanitizer. Definitely been a good contribution to this year. And Band-Aids, and a lot of other things too. It varies on every trip, but yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's basically our organization, and if you ever wanted to help, it doesn't matter how far you are from us, you can always email us at noteinatote@gmail.com or follow us on Instagram at noteinatote. We'll always be willing to take any sort of donations, any type of notes that anyone would want to take part in writing. Anything really helps, and we hope we inspired you, and be kind. Thank you.
Hi friends over at Grover Cleveland Middle School. I hope you're doing well, and I'm excited to hear that you're doing your Make a Difference, even now during the pandemic. My name is Ann Mernon, and I'm the director at Tony's Kitchen, and I thought I'd show you how the pandemic has affected our world here at an organization that's devoted to feeding our neighbors that are hungry. So I'll tell you a little bit about what we're doing now and how different it is from what we used to do. So this room, which now looks like a warehouse, used to be our dining room. So this is where we used to have tables, and we would serve people who came in to eat at our tables. It is now, as you can see, pretty much a warehouse. And this is where we, instead of having a dining room right now,
We pack bags of food, fresh produce, all kinds of shelf-stable items, dairy, some protein, and they go home in bags to families, and we serve over 850 families here every week. And then we also were really hard hit here by seniors. Seniors had a really hard time, especially in the very early days of COVID. So this is our kitchen. This is our kitchen crew. Hello. That's Chris. And that's Dawn. Hello. What are you all making?
We're making fish. Lots of beautiful fish from Gus and Co.
Tuna fish.
And salmon over there.
Nice, beautiful. So who is this, are these beautiful meals going out to? This is
going out to the
gorgeous
seniors in our community.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So we serve about 550 seniors, Dawn, every week?
Absolutely,
right?
yep.
And they get some nice hot meals from our kitchen?
Yep.
And then they also get bags that have in them some fresh produce, some shelf-stable items, nice oatmeal, milk, things like that. Right. So, nice. Thank you so much for being here. So we've talked about families and we've talked about seniors. The people that we haven't talked about are homeless people, many of whom used to eat in this dining room. So our homeless have had a really, really hard time during COVID. For them, we prepare meals similar to the ones that Chris and Dawn are doing now. And they are distributed outside, unfortunately. Outside in the weather, they get a to-go meal. So that's what we're doing over here at Tony's Kitchen. We miss you. We think of you often. We hope that you and your families are doing well. And if there's anything, anytime you want to reach out and make a difference at Tony's, please feel free to reach out. We'd love to food drive or some toiletries if you wanted to do a toiletry drive, anything like that, just to help our neighbors who are struggling right now, okay? Please be well, stay safe, and I hope your Make a Difference Day goes well. Bye-bye.
Hi everybody, I'm Darrell Weiss. I'm a special education teacher at Grover Cleveland Middle School. I just wanted to share my condolences with the Brown family, and just want to tell you that Jim was one person that was able to be Mr. Brown, my supervisor, while being Jim Brown, my friend, and that's something I've always appreciated. I miss him, I love him, and God bless him.
One memory that I have of Jim that always sticks out in my mind are the lunches that he would come in and enjoy with myself, Margot Collater, and Danielle Grabaritz. He would come in and we would talk about shows that we all watched, or dinners that we've made in the past, or we would just have conversations about everything and anything. It was a really enjoyable way for all of us to kind of get to know him as opposed to just being our principal, and to laugh and to have a good time during our lunch times and to see a different side of him. Another memory that I like to talk about was when he was student of the day and he was going around with Brielle Guarente. And we were always told during that time that however we were treating the kids is how he wanted to be treated, or whatever work we were giving the kids he had to get. So in that particular day, the students were taking a quiz and Jim ended up earning a 72, and it was on square roots and irrational numbers. He had no idea what was going on, but yet he also, when he turned it in, demanded that he was going to go home and tell his parents and demand a retake for the next day. It was something that we always laughed about for many years afterwards, and something that we discussed oftentimes when the subject of math would come up.
Hi, my name is Kyle McCall. I'm an 8th grade language arts teacher. Jim Brown hired me. He gave me a chance when he didn't have to. As Mr. Weiss said earlier, he was a great guy that was able to be tough as a boss when he needed to, but also there for you on a personal level as a friend when he needed to as well. I live every day now when I come into school knowing that I want to make a difference that day for myself and for everyone else at the school. And also, I want to carry on the legacy of Mr. Brown here at the school as a compassionate person that helps out anybody that needs to. So not only do I try to make a difference for everybody, but I live my life at this school trying to make Mr. Brown proud.
The Seeing Eye, headquartered in Morristown, New Jersey, is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that breeds, raises, and trains seeing eye dogs for people who are blind or visually impaired. The mission of the Seeing Eye is to enhance the independence, dignity, and self-confidence of blind people through the use of a seeing eye dog. Since 1929, the Seeing Eye has made over 17,600 partnerships throughout the United States and Canada. The fee for a student receiving their first seeing eye dog is $150. For a replacement student receiving their subsequent dog, it's $50, and for a military veteran, it is $1. The fee hasn't changed since 1934, and for a blind individual, it represents a symbol of respect and dignity by paying this nominal fee. In 1927, a young man named Morris Frank read an article about dogs being trained as guides for blinded veterans of World War I. Frustrated by his own lack of mobility as a blind person, he was inspired to write the article's author for help. Dorothy Harrison Eustace was an American training German Shepherd police dogs in Switzerland, and when she received Morris Frank's letter, she agreed to help him. He promised he would return to the United States and spread the word about these wonderful dogs. On June 11, 1928, having completed instruction in Switzerland, he arrived in New York City, proving the ability of his dog Buddy before throngs of news reporters. His one-word telegram to Mrs. Eustace told the entire story: success. The Seeing Eye was born with the dream of making the entire world accessible to people who are blind. The Seeing Eye breeds their own dogs, German Shepherds, Labrador Retrievers, Golden Retrievers, and Lab Golden Crosses, at a 330-acre complex in Chester, New Jersey. When the puppies are 7 weeks old, they are placed with puppy-raising families in New Jersey, Eastern Pennsylvania, Warwick, New York, Maryland, and Delaware. Puppy raisers teach the puppies basic commands and house manners. The puppies stay with their puppy-raising families until they are between 14 and 18 months old. The families belong to puppy-raising clubs, and the puppies attend club meetings. The puppies also get exposure to places such as stores, restaurants, plays, traffic, and trips to places like New York City. Some puppy raisers take their puppies with them to work or college classes. There are puppy raising clubs at Rutgers University and the University of Delaware where students are able to raise puppies on campus. When the puppies return to the Seeing Eye, they go through a comprehensive medical exam. If everything checks out, they will then be assigned to a guide dog mobility instructor. The training is 4 months long, and at the end of that time, the puppy-raising family is invited to Morristown to watch, from a distance, the puppy that they raise guide their instructor through the streets of Morristown. Once the dog is finished with training, the instructors will look through the student applications to find the perfect match. When it is determined that they have found a match, the student will be invited to come to a class at the Seeing Eye for 3.5 weeks for a first dog and 2.5 weeks for a second or subsequent dog. The student lives at the Seeing Eye and trains with the dog and the instructor on the Seeing Eye campus, around Morristown, and even in New York City. At the end of class, the graduate of the Seeing Eye and their new guide dog head home to a new life of independence.
Hello, my name is Gregory Courtwright. I'm here to talk to you about the community service my family provides towards the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. The Cystic Fibrosis Foundation's mission is to cure cystic fibrosis and to provide all people with the disease the opportunity to lead full, productive lives by funding research and drug development and promoting individualized treatment and ensuring access to high-quality, specialized care. Cystic fibrosis is a progressive genetic disease that causes persistent lung infections and limits the ability to breathe over time. Back in 2010, my family got involved with the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation by first participating in the Great Strides Walk. A walk is very easy to join. Basically, you set up a team, you join a particular walk, and you reach out to your friends, family, neighbors, and ask them to donate money. The money then goes to the foundation that is running the walk. We've done other fundraisers to raise money for the foundation, including painting pottery, cut-a-thon, bake sales. These usually involve working with local businesses. They'll donate their facilities, their time, and then you promote that particular business. People will come use the services for a day, whether it be a cut-a-thon, painting pottery, or maybe you're baking cookies and things like that and selling those. And the money you raise, you then turn around and donate to the particular foundation. We've also done a Skate for CF, which involves working with the local skating rink. We used Floyd Hall Arena on the campus of Montclair State University. For many years, people would come and skate. The money they would pay to skate would turn around and be used to be donated to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. One year we did a walk at Grover Cleveland Middle School. The students all reached out to their friends and family, raised money for a particular walk. The money that was then donated to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. We've designed and sold t-shirts. And again, the proceeds from selling those t-shirts goes to the particular foundation. Mackenzie wrote a book one year, wrote an illustrated book called CF According to Max. The book involved cystic fibrosis as seen through the eyes of a cat. And then the proceeds from that book, she did not go to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, but she then in turn used that to purchase more books, which she then donated to kids that are living with cystic fibrosis. And that it's not always about raising money. Sometimes it's about raising awareness. Jean Corritt has spent time working with nurses in the state of New Jersey and educating them about cystic fibrosis and actually even other illnesses students might have within their school districts, and how to make sure that those students are advocating for themselves, what they need, and are getting everything they need to keep themselves healthy while attending school. Since 2010, we have been able to raise over $100,000 for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, plus raising awareness about cystic fibrosis within the community. That is what my family has done in our area of providing community service towards the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, the service and leadership that we are doing. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the rest of your day.
But anyway, well, Jeannie Gertie, thank you so much for joining me. This is like our 10th attempt, and that's because we love making a difference, and Jim Brown loved making a difference, and Mr. Brown always encouraged his teachers to make a difference. And actually, I've been thinking about it, he actually encouraged his son. He was so excited when we did the build at James Caldwell that he actually took his son on a build. So it's really kind of it's wonderful. It's just when everybody gives back, it's wonderful. Yeah. So anyway, Jeannie Gertie is my bud from, high school. Years. A lot of years. A little kid. But anyway, her brother Tom and Jeannie have gotten me involved in Habitat for Humanity Road Trip Crazies. And I am going to step back and let you guys listen, because Jeannie Gertie is going to just tell you what a wonderful, wonderful opportunity it is to let your heart tell your hands what to do. And Jeannie, go ahead.
Thanks for that, Ms. Lincoln. Hi, gang. Thanks for listening. Let your heart tell your hands what to do. Well, let's see. First, I need to very briefly tell you what Habitat for Humanity is all about. It's an organization that was started by a couple who had more money than they knew what to do with. And yet they were miserable. They were really unhappy. Their marriage was falling apart. Things weren't going their way. So they decided they needed to think this through and regroup. So in doing that, they took some of their funds and they started an organization called Habitat for Humanity. And what Habitat for Humanity does is it helps people who need that extra step or two to buy a home. They might not be able to make the ends meet to fully buy a home. So the way it's done is people volunteer to help build homes. They donate materials to help build homes, and that brings the cost down for the future homeowners. Sometimes even the land is donated. When that is done, the homeowner can then purchase a home. And I say purchase, it's not giving to them. It's not a handout, it's a hand up. The people who are buying the homes have to qualify. They have to be able to pay, keep the payments going. But one of the ways that they do that is they do what's called sweat equity. And that means that they have to work on somebody's home, maybe work in the office, maybe volunteer at the resource center, whatever it might be, but they have to put in a certain amount of hours to qualify to be able to buy this home. So that's Habitat for Humanity. Now what happens after that is my brother Tom, who is a contractor in Virginia, he and friends decided to go volunteer. And in doing so, they were so pumped up that they kept going and going and going. And every time they would invite somebody new along. And that caused this group to grow. So all over the East Coast and sometimes the West Coast and elsewhere, people from all over the country gather to volunteer for these weekend blitz builds. These builds are done in usually 3 or 4 days. And we're called the Habitat Road Trip Crazies because we travel to the sites and we go on our own dime. And we're called Crazies because we say we can build a house in a weekend, and the people in the organization say, that's crazy. So that's how we got our name. But we have a group of about 100 volunteers who go usually twice a year somewhere on the East Coast typically, and we do build. We did that in James Caldwell, actually, where we built the walls. You may be noticing these slides. You recognize Mrs. Dean and Mrs. Lockhart, Mr. P from Washington School was there to help. Miss Mole was there to help. Of course, Miss Lincoln's got her hammer going there. And what we do is we go and give of our time. And it is an amazing group that gets together. And we look so forward to being together to help build. And all we do is smile all weekend. So it's giving of ourselves, but really we gain far more as we walk away after being with all these people. Now, you have to be 16 to volunteer for Habitat for Humanity. But you, in 7th grade, can do things like make cards and sell them. You can make cards or anything and raise the money and donate it to Habitat for Humanity. You can make keychains, as you see on the slideshow, so that the new homeowner can use that. You can make birdhouses. We donate birdhouses. Washington School built, my friend Henry made like 30 birdhouses, and we donate them to the new homeowners. Another thing that you can do is you can raise funds in some way, and those funds are used to buy flags. The Grover Cleveland Middle School, a number of years ago, through Miss Lincoln, bought flags and donated them to Habitat for Humanity. And every time we're at a crazy build, we raise a flag, we honor the family that's going to live in the home when they get their key. We donate many things, birdhouses. One group I know made hot holders and gave them to the new homeowners for their kitchen. But we all gather together to celebrate this new home. And one of our traditions is when we're building, we sign the inside of the house somewhere on the beams or the ceiling, wherever, before the sheetrock is up. And we let these folks know that all of the crazies are there to help you through thick and thin. The house was built with great love. It's an international organization. The crazies are just a bunch of people who want to work with people and help and give of their hearts. Let their heart tell their hands what to do. When you're 16, you can volunteer. And it might not be Habitat, but boys and girls, give of yourself at some point.
We're running out of time, but if you could read what your brother wrote. This is the inside wall of one of the homes that we built.
So this says, may you find peace in this home built with love. And Tom Gertie signed it. And my whole family goes, my husband, my children, all of my family. But I want to encourage you to look at these links that Ms. Lincoln has put on here, because they'll give you an idea of what it's all about, including the build down at James Caldwell High School. Take the few moments to look at they're only 3 or 4 minutes long, and maybe will inspire you to volunteer. If not for this, some way give of yourself, because you'll end up with more than you've given.
As we wrap up the 2021 Make a Difference Day event, I want to publicly thank everyone who was involved in making this event possible. I want to thank Kathy Salvanto, Debbie Santulli, and Susan Nogales, who helped put everything together and made this event stronger than ever. I want to thank the 40 presenters who donated their time and energy into contributing to our special event, allowing us to keep this special tradition going. And finally, thank you, Jim Brown. It was your vision that made this event a reality, and I will continue to make this event possible as long as I can. To conclude our event, here is a song in honor of Jim Brown. Good night, everybody.
You've got a friend in me. You got a friend in me.
When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said, son, you got a friend in me.
Yeah, you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got troubles, and I got too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. If we stick together, we can see it through. Son, you got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend in me. Now some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too. Maybe
another day will never love you the way I do, just you.
As the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. And as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend in me.